Hey, internets. I need to change. Up. We are meeting more of Stultifera navis. That is the name of all time. We finished off with taking the cool lighthouse basically after saying hi to the last night. And now I think we can go onto a ship. I think this is... or maybe this is... no, this is... what is the name of the ocean? I do like... oh, the name of the ocean is like... oh, okay, the name of the ocean is afterwards. I thought for a second I saw like 8 and I was like, that's the last stage. But it was an anniversary kind of event, or half anniversary, one of those. But yeah, we have our cool new cruise ship with which we can go to EG, I guess. I do really like the side story so far, I must say. I still feel like, because I've like read the arc, let's call it the Limbus, I feel like the Limbus call basically was kind of mostly just... okay, it's not the direct retelling of this or anything like that, but I feel like there's a lot of similarities here. Is it? Wait, let me double check. I should have opened this in the wiki already. I'm very confused what the actual order is, but maybe this also just started with an after. So we finished us in 5. Wait, this is us in 7 though. Did we? This is us in 5. Yeah. Where's us in 6? Where the hell is us in 6? Stupid. Dann nehme ich Ocean. Als das in 9, 2010. Oh, der ist das in 6. I'm blind. Okay, okay. Pyogen was the owner of that key. How did we get it though? During Iberia's golden age, he became a guest of honor to the aristocrats and nobility. It was once seen as a symbol of the budding harmony between the Aegean Islanders and Iberians. I need to crank up the volume again, I think. Oh, this? I don't know how this will happen, so I think sometimes just gets resetted back to... it should be alright, it should be alright. Nobody knows what he was doing right before the disaster, or what he lacked the time to do. He already left behind a significant legacy, and for you, significant directions. Regardless, he is part of the past. I have no doubt you will be the ones to make the choice here in the present. As for the key, the question on why Pyogen's key was left in Casimir's is one we do not need answered. Something last night. But it was found by the hunter, Skadi. Which, I mean, doesn't it imply that Pyogen is the last night? Or maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm stupid. It was found by the hunter, Skadi. That was no coincidence, but rather an inevitability. We all have a natural sensitivity towards the sea. Indeed, I handed the key to that band. You will learn what they truly are. Perhaps the Aegir will need to enlist their help. They're also searching for answers. Most of them are young, uncomfortable with the ocean's changes. After all, they cannot fully leave the place of their birth. Yes, I hope we will succeed. Humanity faces too many problems, and the layers upon layers of disasters can easily extinguish the light of our current civilization. Nadia, if you wish to act alone, I won't try to dissuade you. Skadi is just like you, perhaps all the hunters are. But whatever you do, don't think you can solve all of the land's problems by yourself. Ask away, I will answer any of your questions. Ishamla? Where did he hear that name? We're almost there. But the ocean is just too vast. Even slight inaccuracies in the coordinates can lead to huge errors. It's also much calmer than I imagined. More than calm. Since leaving the lighthouse, we've actually faced fewer and fewer attacks. Not even the wind or waves are stirring. What does it mean? It means... Are you nervous, my pure little bird? Hey, when did you? Stand where I can see you. What are you calling nervous anyway? It's just very few people manage to make it this far out into the ocean. So I can be sure that... Nay, your eyes are turned back to over your shoulder, not to the horizon. You fear loss more than the unknown. Superior gave you this chance so you could board the Stultifera and to reach out to the Aegir. Not for you to wallow indecisively. You know, this is kinda probably not really part of a job description normally. I know that. But if it comes to us, you must... Hey, you smell the shark? Of course. Keep this close little boat slightly to the right, and soon we'll be able to see the bigger boat. It's long since become yet another nest door. We really intended to dive right in. You need to rest, Spectre. Me? Is there something wrong with me? Why would you ask that? Your hand is shaking. Huh? Spectre looks down at her hand. The ocean is talking to her. One not wielding a weapon is indeed trampling slightly in the sea breeze. The consciousness gradually clears up and plunges deep into the abyss, untouchable. It's just anxiety. Or excitement. But why? Gladia reaches out and gently holds Spectre's hand, with Skadi following suit. The three abyssal hunters share a moment of silence. Welcome home, hunters. Gladia solemnly steps into the ship's bow. The sea breeze cleaves a path through the night, carrying up in it a familiar scent. The quiet vessel sleeps soundly atop the ocean. It's the vessel of the sea breeze, the guest of an era. Idealism was ubiquitous in that era, reflected the people's spirit of exploration, as well as their arrogance. I mean, honestly, that is a pretty ship. Skadi and Gladia gaze wordlessly at the ship. It's also kinda gigantic. But I guess if it's an exploration vessel. An instant, they're inundated with a flood of thoughts. But in the end, they are invariably dragged back to the past. The youth, their home, the rhythmic swaying of the ship. Only Spectre continues to grip tightly onto the weapon in her hand. Sea breeze picking up slightly. She's smelling the seaborn. I mean, this has to be over one, right? Trees will carry the hunters home. Monster, burn them. Happy monster noises for sure. But Carmen, we can't afford to stay here much longer. Team of hunters is in danger. The panel battalion is being held back. Seems he might have underestimated the extent of the Church of a Deep Taint. Should have cleared a temporary forward base at Faro to continue the pursuit. We didn't have a choice. We have no way of securing the town. We'll be under attack from both sides. Well... kinda... do they need to hold the town at this point? I feel like the town chose this, so Iberian Tercio consists of at least 10 companies. Approximately 3,000 people. Officers of the panel battalion are more than sufficient to lead them to victory. You seem quite knowledgeable about this. I have just all the military intelligence from your country, okay? Don't worry. We've crossed paths more than once. I successfully let the panel battalion handle Faro and head straight to the Eye of Iberia. I wouldn't be opposed to that proposal. We are dealing with victorious fleet. Otherwise our losses will be even greater. Miss Frost, why are you... A warm workout, she said. We come from the sea. We are the sea. However, if you're willing to help, that would be ideal. What can you offer? I can make them listen. Listen to my song. And your companions? Apologies in advance, but Ants wants to borrow that chapel. The others are in there thinking up new songs. Music? Your melodies are considerably different from what I used to hear in Lithuanian. You sure they'll be interested in this sort of thing? Yes. Meaning of life is music. I thought it was procreation or something, but close enough. I just want to clean up the venue before the show starts. Frost slowly pulls out her guitar. Carmen cannot help but be surprised. He can tell that the organism in front of him is truly channelly thinking about music. The words contained no superfluous intentions. It's by no means a metaphor. Use the word as such, Frost's attention will quickly wander. She only thinks about music. It is her calling. Only in this form of art, capable of stimulating her soul, can hold her attention. Oop. Lurking sea terrors circle around her, observing, examining, judging. Sorry, this note was off. They dare not mentally approach her. They smell a familiar scent. You realize that the guitarist in front of them is a hollow vessel. A distant connection resonates through the deaths bestowed to them as their birthright. Even on land, they instantly feel as if they've become one with the sea. How miraculous. These creatures are intimately connected with the land itself. In their eyes, are humans and sea terrors no different? Frost does not answer. She's intoxicated by the melody, consumed by the passion. Halsey knows that the question was rhetorical. Halsey, was this also part of your plan? For them to sit on the coast while the Panoply dives into the sea? Yeah, I think that's why she brought them here. I choose to believe so, then yes. All according to Kaikaku. But the panel battalion didn't even have time to prepare even a single ship for us. There's already one sitting along the shore. It's been years since the Grand Pharaoh project was scrapped. First we must uproot the evil that still grips this land. I remain an inquisitor. I will not sit idly by and watch the corruption that's been infesting Iberia slip away, right before my eyes. Wo? Are you alright? Let go of me. Don't just go around picking people up. But I fetch a little bird. How will you climb up this tall deck if I don't carry you? That's what I meant. Forget it. What's the matter? Inquisitor Ivy simply stares blankly at the scenery in front of her. A dim sliver of light in front of the pitch-black sea. In front of the ship's mast. Time seems to have stood still for the past 60 years. So this is the Stultifera. Stultifera navis. The ship of fools. Flagship that housed both scholars and soldiers. A floating palace of a fallen dynasty. It's quite different from how it's described in the books. Honestly, it is kinda still very well maintained and everything, just looking at... This was at sea for how many years? Like, look at all the sails, the function and everything. Let's go. Wait. What are you even searching for on a ship this big? There again was an Aegir. This key must be hiding some sort of clue that the Aegir wanted to leave behind. A key? What is it meant to open? The path back home? That's what I'm here to find out. Even ignoring its size, Ships also been lost at sea for 60 years. How do you plan to... Perhaps the young Iberians haven't had much exposure to these transport vessels. With Peregrine's help, this thing was so shoddily built. What do you mean shoddily? Why you... Were the seas calm on our way here? I'm sure you know the answer. But my next question for you is this. Why didn't the ship sink? You don't mean... Footsteps. Heavy, vicious footsteps. A shadow appears up on the deck, where no living being should stir. I mean, this is full of seaborns, right? No, I mean immediately reminds herself of having such a thought. My discussion was also on her mind. Along the shore and the waters, she's already seen so many of these. What a nice man! The moment she sees the enemy, young, talented Inquisitor Gavine's first instinct is to hold her breath. Guess they have kind of been maintaining it, right? They are very humanoid. By the time she remembers how to breathe, Claudia's already stepped forward. Interesting. He managed to dodge it. Man, it has put all his skill points in dexterity. And I guess it's the carpet. Not for long. Don't even think about it. What? It hid inside his cabin. Shall we chase it? Yes, that is where it went. But why would it hide inside? Be out in the middle of the ocean. What do we do? It's not alone. There's more than one seaborn on the ship. Even more sea terrors. I guess is it maybe that it's of a different seaborn tribe or something? Are those outcast seaborns? We should split up. Go after it. Head down. But down? What do you people already know the layout of the ship? Because every ship is built the same way. We don't. But that's nothing a sharp blade can solve. Excuse me? This is the most important legacy of the Iberian sages we're talking about here. And where will you go, little bird? I have an obligation to supervise you, so I'll go with you. There's so many mysteries shrouding this Stultifera. Let's be preserved this well. Why did it never try to return to Iberia in the last 60 years? As an Inquisitor, I must uncover the truth. Shall we hold hands then? Aw, it's a date. But what's the meaning of this? You're a fruit of elegance and grace, but your hard work and natural talents are worthless before the enemies you face. I fear we'll lose you with but a momentary lapse of focus. Your baby. You look down on others too much, Aegir. Keep her safe then. Will do. Shark. Did you remember something? The sea face told me it spoke of a sculpture. It is weeping, waiting for me. Will I be able to find it on the ship? Of course, but make it quick. I'll be waiting for you. What sculpture? Why does say our greetings to this ceased while searching for its whereabouts, Skadi? I'm glad you still remember my name. This place really is fit to be a palace. But how is it so pristine? There's not a speck of dust to be found. Look, even the floorboards are sparkling. Maybe someone wanted to keep it tidy. Who though? Who knows? You said you were going to pursue that monster. Are you planning on doing that? The scent doesn't lie. But this place is full of putrid smells. Must be more. Whoop. Sea terrors. As expected, they turned this place into a nest. I handle this. Wait, Spectre. The sound's coming from below. Ishamla. Ishamla. Welcome back home or something. And they have not been... Man, okay, yeah, this... How the hell, how much gold is this ship? I guess they did live in a golden age, quite literally, huh? I don't want to know how expensive this ship must have been made to mate. The impact. Are you alright, Spectre? Spectre? Valentina? Are you looking at a mirror? Why is there a mirror is a good question. Is this the captain's seat or something? Why does this basically have a phone? A mirror's been broken. What's with the place? Why did Iberians make a transport vessel into a palace? Something like Wit's Island. Is there anything special about the mirror? I saw it. At first, there was a speck of light from the surface of the shattered mirror, but it quickly gave way to the dark shadow beneath it. Its eye. Seaborn had long been waiting here, sitting alone in its golden hall. I'm the king of this Isham Latina, Lutina, Lachentina. I think Latina's, you know what, close enough. It's young. No, we can judge their strength by size. Not a Seaborn, without a doubt. Also, Seaborn is almost capable of speech, no? Sea tier was 2. They're gathering. Spectre? Spectre ignores her words as she stares blankly at the mirror. I got a Seaborn behind it. You remember me? Seaborn nods slightly. Looks at Spectre and Skadi with confusion, thinking, why are they different from how they were in the past? What happened to them? How can it help free them from the shackles of flesh and blood? You know, yeah, just rip the shackles open, you know? Spectre. I don't think about it. I'm not. Tone had changed. Sky looks at Spectre with astonishment. She had never been able to get a definite answer from either Claudia or Calcid regarding the moment of clarity Spectre displayed in Salviento. Valentina, you okay? I think I wanna slightly lower the volume. I'm professional. That's 69. That's a great number. Valentina, you... Valentina, yes, Valentina! Look here on the skull hanging from my weapon. Back when I wrote my name down and hung it here. I could still remember where I was born. Ah, a lucid dream, huh? Really, it's been too long. Spectre? We can remember this later. But until we enter aboard this familiar yet unfamiliar vessel, we'll hope the next time I'm awakened, it's by Aegis with splendid domes instead of you ugly monsters. Kinda rude, you know, they are just bystanders here. You went into their home and just called them ugly. Hey, thanks for sitting back and letting me finish. Wait, you weren't seriously about to call us your kin, were you? Of course. I mean, you kinda are, I guess, in a sense, right? Also, I do really hope that we get to see Iggy, yeah? Come on, why don't you take a little nap too? Sink into the quagmire of consciousness, relinquish the gift of life. I think the man might be upset. But yeah, this was only before, right? Okay. I see it. I see Alfonso heading to the Great Hall every day. He's named it Iberia. Huh. He's moved a mirror from his bedroom to the hall, and spends day after day examining himself. Ever since the head chef and young Jamie were executed, and I are the only ones left. Oh, who executed them if it's only you two? There you are. Guess you were already like some form of seaborn hybrid? How long was I asleep? Feels like I barely got any rest before I found myself awake. Not long, but you need to force yourself. I know it hurts when you talk. These lowly monsters leave plenty of blood behind. Let's use that to write instead. I nod, and the corner of our buckets filled with the blood of our quarry. Time passes too slowly. I barely slept at all, but my dreams felt even longer than all the decades behind us. Is this time we gave up then? It's been a long, long while since young Jamie and the old chef left us. Should we follow them? We should give up. My consciousness blurs more and more, like the feeling of being entangled right before waking from a dream. It's not just my flesh that is changing, but everything about me. Everything that makes me a living being. We should give up. We should end ourselves before we are devoured. Infinite boundless ocean, the sea breeze, the waves, the whispers. Chief mate, this is our ship, our ideals. Sooner or later, we lose even the strength to walk. But it won't happen to her. Not the Stultifera navis. It is the unbreakable, unsinkable ship. Oh, I just wonder how much. Also, I guess actually the seaborn scene is the captain, right? It's kind of the same arm, I think. Or maybe it's the mate. Well, the chief mate. That's cigarette jumping engineer was right. If we all die, the ship will never sink. Today, that's just another 24 hours in one long, unending day. Scroll some words using the blood of sea terrors. Yippee. Don't give up. Look at what you've become. I don't even see your sea blue eyes anymore. Wouldn't you rather be set free? I'm your chief mate, we're going down with the ship, exactly. For your sake. Easy now. Okay, maybe it was a chief mate then, since the seaborn had like very blue eyes. Thank you, Garcia. No matter what you turn into, one between us will never change. But I know he's looking at the mirror, because even someone as strong as him has finally succumbed to the monsters. We've consumed their flesh and blood. You know, that's how you get the strength, it makes sense. At first, we started fires to cook them. Then we were forced to devour them raw. Even the most powerful Inquisitors were awed by Alfonso's strength. He was the object of so many young sailors' admiration. There was nothing he couldn't do. But he has held on long enough. Soon, he too will become one of the monsters. Yippee! He's worried. He's furious. If he cannot even tolerate the slightest monster within him, how can he tolerate me? Trash. You have even less than the wheat that washed ashore in Salviento. Tomb was merely creating a smoke screen. The ocean boasts no changes to speak of. Ladia, I want to see. Are you free? It's a bit EP spooky. And my brain is EP. I wanted to say creepy. I think that's what my brain was looking for. Friends are here. You're trapped. Need help. Should we return to our kins and base? Many friends have died here, but parents will not let them die. I must save them. Even if you can speak with that ugly mug of yours, that's no surprise to anyone. return to the Great Sea. No need to fight. See, we can do this with just talking. We go together. Already grown tired of your battling. Time to end you. Latvia. Will you prey on me? Will you feed on me? Will that make you stronger? More full of life? Will it help the scales in your neck grow and spread? Turn you to your proper form? Yes. How do you even know about that? Abyssal hunters are bound by blood. The Seaborn contorts its relatively slender form. It is biting off parts of its own body. I sever this flesh, consume it. If you need more, I give you more. I'll give you everything. Kadia stares blankly at the fleshy mass on the ground. She is shaken. I know at least you don't have to kill it yourself, but not because of the Seaborn or its behavior. Or this moment of distraction convinces the Seaborn and Claudia has accepted his proposal. You will meet again soon. Ends itself. Seaborn leaves. The Claudia does not pursue it. Because she smells the scents of shark and Skadi, the Seaborn will not escape. Turns around and heads towards where another smell is coming from. The smell of the sea and of blood. The smell of hunters aboard the ship. I didn't notice it until I got this close. Impossible. The smell of hunters is... I mean, I guess it could be Alpinus, but how would he have made it to the ship before them? What? What do we do now? I expected there'd be people alive here. Thought we'd get the ship back just by killing some sea terrors. Captain made it sound so simple. What are you looking at, Spectre? The mirror. Do you know Skadi? Even as we speak. When I look at myself in this mirror, I start to remember so many things that I'd forgotten. But, A darkened dome, a 100-meter-tall sculpture, aquamarine-colored opera hall, a waterfall pouring crystals of ice. What is this place, Skadi? Your home. My home? I remember now! I think flesh climbing all over that statue. Collapses of a thunderous thud. Yeah, I guess your home kinda got taken over. Remember these things, but I've never experienced them. You know, I know it from hearing you talk about where you used to live, which fell into ruin long ago, long before I met you. Maybe you only saw the report later on. Can we save the chatter for some other time? She's so done with the shit. We are planning to chase down these two Seaborn, or we seizing control of the ship while they're not around and sailing it back. I feel like sailing it back might be a bit dangerous while there's still Seaborn on the ship, no? The survivors haven't managed it in 60 years, somehow I doubt we could figure it out ourselves. Man, if only Lumen was here, or well, Jody, I guess. Must be patient. The squad leader will figure something out. Spectre, what's wrong? Just a little dizzy. I just remembered what it did to me. Wait. I saw her just now in Grand Faro? She was willing to talk to me. She was full of hypocrisy, blowing hot and cold. But she... What the hell is she speaking? She's here. What? You mean more survivors? No, an enemy. One who can't cross the sea and board this vessel, which is more than enough to identify them. Let's split up. Where will you go? You could at least tell Irene. I'm Iberian Inquisitor. It's my duty to ensure that this ship returns to Iberia's hands. I'll go after that. After Alfonso. Okay. Oh, okay, no, I see. So yeah, I guess this was the mate then. Oh, don't you worry, Garcia. We'll catch up soon enough. When those ignorant Aegis wounded it, it went up to Victoria and past Bolivar. and there it could only climb up onto the deck and dive into the sea. And second, Aegis wanted to... So... Okay, I have no idea what it's actually talking about. Ship is not at its back and core. Like Fenian. When we were young, we visited the country along with some other officers. Do you still remember? The twisted faces of those Kurfürsten were enough to turn stomachs. But they understood how to respect arts, which was a mind-boggling revelation. It has been a good day. So quite a few living people. Hope you get out quickly, though. Go to Ithanian, Garcia. Go be the scores you used to love so much. Leave some life into the hunt, my love. You are not scaleless. You need food. Sufficient nutrition, but these waters are still incomplete. The cycle has not yet been built. And living things die in vain. What the hell does the seaborn know? We must hurry. Can we just capture this one and talk? Why? Hunting meaningless. There's something we must do, a duty to our kin. How many does it make now? A swag after 10. And you monsters learn how to talk. Oh, now I remember you, little one. When we ate your parents, weren't your litter were nearby, watching. Okay, that is fucked up. That is just fucked up. Back then, you were the weakest of the lot. Pathetic runt. Alfonso laughs as he pokes at the seaborn's wound, blood running along the tip of his blade and tipping onto the floor. You're bound by blood. You hunt and eat us. You will become us, just as our parents hunted you, and then became hunted by you. Yeah, the cycle of life, just eating each other. The right conditions can trigger your evolution. How do we make you more palatable? Your flesh, that is. How do we just evolve into some spicy chicken seaborn? To hunt is to survive. There's no good or evil in the hunt. That's too bad then. The scent veil and sear. You let me hear the smell. Claudia does not search for the hunter's whereabouts. She begins to look around her. Ever since she boarded this vessel, her surroundings have filled her with a sense of nostalgia. Materials, the decorations, the handiwork. Theogan, a genius from the Academy of Sciences, was an Aegir. Without a doubt, this was his domain. Mystery behind why the ship hadn't sunk in decades was itself the message Theogan wanted to leave to the Aegir. Find new fusion of original and terrestrial technologies. But what exactly is it? Claudia grasps the key from her bosom. She seizes up her surroundings. There again. Where did you hide your secrets? Why would a ship be built like a palace? Most of it's decorative, they're even sculptures. No, that's not all. Both the sculptures and the pattern carpets have been cleaned. Even under these conditions. Sound of music wafts in from the distance. Someone's playing the piano. It's coming from over here. Irene's footsteps slow down. At the end of the corridor, through a crack in the door, she sees a singer Seaborn slapping away at a dilapidated old piano. I said Seaborn was next to Alfonso. What was it doing here? How do I even voice like this? Why would he even slap the piano? What the Wackes? Das pounding away at the keyboard with no rhyme or reason. Als Points isn't here. Did he go after the Seaborn? Why is his chief mate here alone then? Well, I won't worry about it for now. The seashore, oh, the seashore. What? Why did just now? Was it a coincidence? Suddenly it looks like it's only randomly smashing the keys. No, it stopped. Also, give me 1 second. I will be. I guess I will make a 3-minute break. I'm sorry. Be right back. I'm back. The seashore. Oh, the seashore. Farewell to heroes and great men. The chief mate turns its head in fear. Fear is what Irene sees in its behavior. Massive, inexplicable physical reaction. One that's never been displayed in front of a hunter before. Just now, you're just finally hitting keys? That passage she played. Iberian military song? How? You're still conscious? You still have memories of being human. You know who you are. But no, you're already fully transformed. Inquisition has dealt with cultists like that before. There's no reversing it. What are you planning? What are you doing with your hand? Aw, pad time? What is the meaning of this? With the scraps of cloth reminiscent of a wedding veil, the seaborn known as the Chief Maid watches Irene. Its pupils are cloudy, it is suffering, it is filled with both affection and nostalgia. If you truly retain a shred of your humanity, but how, after all these years? Captain... What's happening? Wait. So we're killing your captain or something. Actually, this was not a boss, I think. I think this kind of more being like this was the boss fight. I don't really remember. It has been a long while that I beat up the man, but yeah. Hand feet. But that's not what you're doing. The goal is constantly changing. Shaking. Yes, shaking. Heh. You should just keep playing your piano, Garcia. You don't need to be touching these. Right? Then sink your teeth into it. Its body is changing. Finish it now. You are not hungry. Why? Alfonso doesn't answer the Seaborn's question. Simply chops and hacks at it again and again, like meat on a cutting board. The chief mate bites down on the Seaborn in a death grip. Its crown falls to the ground during the struggle, but does not care to pick it up. Alfonso cuts off the Seaborn's tentacles, which join the crown on the ground. The chief mate pauses for a moment. Garcia. Look at your crown and that tentacle. I understand what you've become now. The Queen of Seaborn. Eve, we will meet again. That's not ominous. Garcia! A chief mate lifts its head, but the Seaborn has already vanished without its face. It quietly picks up its crown and places it back on its head before returning to Alfonso. As if apologizing, it gently rubs his hand. Are you hurt, my good chief mate? Or were you distracted by our uninvited guests? The chief mate does not answer. It dares not speak. It dares not say that when it was biting down into the enemy. It felt like it was tearing into its own kin. It dares not speak, and after once again realizing what it has become, begins to feel guilt. If you still have room for emotions in your heart, then that is proof enough that you're still human. Remember young Jamie's last words? I have no remorse, no regrets, no fear. Only when you truly feel nothing will you lose the right to call yourself human. Don't worry. Next hunt will be quick. As always, it will return. Eh? What's wrong? Eh. Herald. Kin Skeles. You're badly wounded. A newborn like you should not have been in a hurry to board a ship. Kin are here, in need of help. Indeed, true enough. But you've been hurt. I guess this... Maybe all penis wasn't already in the ship and that was the hunt that they sensed if she's also already here. You've been hurt. To their kin, they do not welcome you. You have not yet accepted their identity. You're still lost and confused. Accept? Identity? Those are big words. You do not need to understand. These borders are still incomplete. Perhaps you will have to further perfect yourself before you can lead our entire kind. Need time and nutrition. I've come to give you both. The blasphemous sea captain slaughtered sea terrors for food. It used every means available to hinder the transformation. These usurped pieces of the cycle, but it refuses to be a part of it. The flesh and blood of those offspring rightfully belonged to you. Those nutrients were meant to be yours. The ship has delayed the birth of a brand new ecosystem. Please do not abandon me, Herald. In due time, all of Terra will become one and the same with the nest. And do not abandon him. I need time, but not much more. I'll be back. We will meet again. Just need a little bit more becomes the boss, I feel like. I could have sworn you were going to rush over and kill us. I'll be thanking you, old penis. I can kill something, like, whenever I want. It's even weaker than Quintus. How patient of you. You know, the way must be worthwhile, otherwise where's the fun at? Gladia also tried to infiltrate the Church of the Deep in Salviento, hoping to get something out of them. Of course, she was a poor fit, given her personality. I was thinking that none of you were a good fit. I was saying you're special. He is Mr. Penis himself, okay? You're getting less and less tight-lipped of late. I suppose there's really no rhyme or reason for when you decide to keep quiet, old penis. Don't use my given name so casually, Libby. I don't understand the weight behind it. We are enemies. Oh, we both know you've already abandoned that notion deep in your heart. Of course, you might still hold some enmity. Like a lost and famished traveler who stumbles on a frozen starving mangler beast. The mountains. Did whatever Pagan left behind satisfy your imagination? Far from it. The Seaborn have existed for even longer than the Aegir. But a history to be turned upside down. Must be something behind it. You care about the word of God, and so be it. The Seaborn are not gods, nor are their forefathers. They are just fish. I've seen how your gods die. Their screams cursing through the currents, their flesh and blood smeared across abyssal ravines, as the clan hovered overhead, plunged into the unknown depths of Aegir territory. I've seen it with my own eyes. Enough to shatter all the beliefs I'd held thus far. Afterwards, I will rebuild it. Aegir will be lifted up once more. I do want... Why is Opinus here? Why is he cooperating with the church and everything? I guess it didn't even sound like the other Abyssal Hunters don't really know about him, right? Which... How? Okay. Wait, did I fuck... I fucked up the... Oh, fuck me, I did fuck up the order, didn't I? That's a problem. Okay, I guess now we will read 6 and 7s in the loots. I guess we kinda missed out on what happened on the fucking ship, huh? Which one is this even? Imagine's telling me this is okay, that's not where we want to be. That is 9, it's also not what we want. I will get there. That is 7. We want 6 though. I fucking love video games. Is it here then? Where the hell is... What's this? Did I click on this yet? That is 6. Okay. But... The further in we go, the more sea terrors there are. It's getting dangerous. Astro, how do I come like them? Okay. Seaborn? The same one we saw on the deck. Thanos' attack didn't do any damage? We know it's gonna end with a head pad. How will it come at me? With its limbs, its fangs? A hand cannon. I need to create distance. Wait. Wait a second. What's that on your belt? Why would you... Could you be? Bah. You used to be human. With strength. Barely managed to block it. Hi. You have something to say, monster. I can't go down here. I won't. I'm Inquisitor of Iberia. It's taking too long to burn away the nether sea plant. Relations not looking good. Bloop. I can see what's going on down there from here. It makes also sense that it means we're getting actually some perspective of what's happening at the lighthouse. I mean, I assume it's Lumen and High Inquisitor will meet up on the ship, right? How many hours have passed? How much longer can he hang on? No, don't think about it. Jody, focus. Inquisition, Herbie. Is that all? Ugh. Listen to your friends, Ray. Flowers are viendo, at least at its beauty. What about you? It's my first dance lesson after waking up. I must say you're underwhelming. Ugh. It's getting away. I go after it. You go find a little Iberian bird. I have a feeling. Harder than ever. My memories are tumbling down like a waterfall from the heavens. It will take a while for the full picture to emerge, though. And some of my more recent memories are rather embarrassing. There we go. The mind is still unstable. Oh, trying to steal my prey? I'll try to escape to the sea. Of course it will. And it was dwelling just because it couldn't win. What did it find? We don't have time. I never get used to the hand cannons. Hey, where are you? Huh? Abyssal Hunters? Hello, Irene. I see you've put out small prey. This has come here, Irene. Have you regained your memories? Not entirely, but I know I'm in a great mood right now. Yippee! This is not the time. That's the run from the deck. It's fast enough to dodge the captain's lunch. I really must tip my hat to you, Irene, for chasing it all the way here without taking a scratch. I can take credit for it. Hardly even attacked. Look, still not even now. I see. I won't be able to resist if we chatted like this and showed it an opening. You see, it's friendly. Your friend just left, you know? It's not too late to go after them. Or you're a pacifist too. Casimus, a landlocked country where Skadi stayed for a time. A place of sprawling grasslands and forests, the land of nights. Nights. Is it a coincidence, or did something draw him here? I mean, I really much think that is, it's Hospiogan. I really suspect those interactions are cute. They are. Hey, I hope you're doing fine. The ship, Piogan. What did you intend to leave behind for your homeland? Where have you hidden the answer? Sea terror carcasses? Not only that. The wounds are clean and precise. Show no signs of resistance. Signs mingling in the air. The air here is stale. What else is there on the ship? Just a room full of seaborne bones because they have been feasting on them all this time. Your belt and pocket watch are undoubtedly human in origin, and even the Iberian style. Man, It's like, you know, they're your friends. What are you? It's stalling for time. It'll get complicated if the other one gets back to the ocean. Eh? Still not attacking? What a passive dance partner. You know, maybe go for the hug instead. I take the lead, Skadi. Right. Good. Come on, fight back already. I'm starting to feel like the bad guy. No. It's not stalling for time. Who defiles my Iberia? Evens? The sound of bells? What? Me. The captain has arrived. Bells echo through the empty hall. The lights in this hall flash. The Seaborn lands in the direction of the throne while the three are distracted. Yes, the throne. There's a throne on the Siberian ship. Okay, you cannot say like, did you not know this big fucking ass throne that was like in the CG fight like front and center? A symbol of pride, power, arrogance, and deceit. It's like Spectre trails off. Knowing what she was about to say was far too absurd. It wears the crown, drapes itself in the same colors as the curtains, kneels by the side of the throne, the two inextricably bonded with one another. It resembles the queens and ministers of old, serving the golden sun of Iberia. Still it emerges from behind the throne. Irene raises a lantern over her head, trying to illuminate the shadowy figure. Why do you set foot on my ship? Who would ignore a question from the great Alfonso? Why are you here? Why have you broken the silence and come from my Iberia, which had lain forgotten for decades? We'll start with you. Answer me, child of old Iberia. Huh? Irene could not believe her eyes. It is the man. She'd seen the Seaborn's faces before. She had devoted much time of her time during the Inquisitor training to the study of history, immersing herself in doctrines and creeds. How dare the Seaborn claim to be Alfonso? How dare it claim to be Iberia's greatest ship captain? You can possibly be the captain of the ship, monster? Alfonso was almost 50 years old. 60 years ago. But you look even younger than the great heroes back then. Okay, so one hack the doctors don't want you to know. Just eat more fish in life. Irene knows she's shaken, but she cannot show weakness. She reflexively raises a lantern, as a commanding officer would have. Drop the mask, Seaborn. I mean, well, what are you supposed to do? The light of a lantern flickers. The tiny speck in the Inquisitor's hands seems to fit the word lost better than the lights of this golden hall. The golden age. The Seaborn briefly lays its eyes on Irene before turning away dismissively, rubbing Alfonso's inhuman arm. Short silence surrounds the hero. Seaborn, I don't like that name. Tell me your name, child of old Iberia. Marine, Inquisitor of Iberia. And old Iberia? You dare defy the name of... And you dare talk to me like that? Screech interrupts the exchange. Where were you when we burned Victoria's ships and sunk the Lion King's honor to the bottom of the lake? She was not born then, I think? Where were you when I paved the streets of Salviento with pure gold, poured back in my ships? Where were you when the Tertius darkened Lithanian's dawn like a black cloud? Okay, you're living in the past, my man. You... I'm Alfonso, Duke of Old Iberia, Admiral of the Armada, Captain of the Stultifera, and King of my own kingdom. You are a mere Inquisitor. Dare question me? Me? So the church fools have crossed the ocean to find me. What did you expect? A pat on the back? Go back. No matter how you got here, the Stultifera navis does not welcome you. Garcia, my chief mate. No need to be so bothered by them. You will repay the sea 1,000-fold for the blood they made you spill. Eh? Working in Inquisition is a serious crime in Iberia. Did you not understand what I just said? Leave. There's not a single living soul on the ship. Child of old Iberia. Why does he call it like old Iberia? We sacrificed so much to... I'm not here to ask for your permission. Such impertinence. This is why I never liked the church. A crime? Against the church to help us to stand against even the feeble royal house. If you're really from old Iberia, then tell me. Who's the incompetent pope? Carmen? You know Saint Carmen's name? Saint. A saint. A saint. What are you laughing at? Didn't he have the metal to become pope? Does he not feel ashamed when he sees himself in the mirror? Okay, I feel like they did name himself saint. I feel honestly I feel like calling yourself saint is more arrogant than calling yourself a pope. No wonder it took you 60 years to find this place. Disasters made Iberia weak. But no matter, before the ship's doctor joined the cults, we discussed what might have become of Iberia. This is not unexpected. The floor that you stand on, this immaculate golden hall, this is the motherland, I know. This is Iberia. What is the backwater you speak of which you refuse to see or understand? How far has the once great empire fallen? It really so pathetic that it took you 60 years to find me. They're rebuilding. There's also a lot of trouble on that, okay? Alfonso descends from the podium. Irene takes a step back, the lantern flickers. Now then, why are the two Ege with you? There's a place for the Ege in my Iberia. Yes, Veses, DP. Meant no offense, Captain. You are merely chasing some ugly monsters and mistook your chief mate for one of them. You probably should not have said that. How did you survive so long here? That's the question, ain't it? Jäger fools? It's been so many years since I took up hunting as a hobby. Either today or tomorrow should have been the day of reckoning. But you chased away my quarry. Now we must once again rely on those... No. Wait, no! Huh? You're not Aegir. You're more than Aegir. Both of you. We are the same, basically. Kinda. What's your name? Skadi. No. Aegir. Don't try to deceive me. We have been trapped on the ship for decades, but we are no fools. I call you Ishamla. How does he... Did you hear the bells, Alpinus? It's a miracle that anything works on a ship at all. Here, the bells signal the start of the hunt. Well, we're not the hunted, right? But who is the hunter and who is the prey? The children of the ocean don't care. They consider Alfonso to be their kin. A bit weakened. They're willing to offer their own flesh and blood, all to ensure the survival of the strong. It seems kind of fucked, you know? I wouldn't want to be the weak, for sure. A hunter approaches. Bloody, she's too sharp. The skills I learned on land will only work for so long. She'll detect me soon. What will you do? What will you do? Answering a question with a question. I'm interested in your choice, or penis? I expect to become interested in the abyssal hunters again. Valentina fascinates me. I see so much possibility in her. Possibility for what? And you've made your choice of your own accord. By retaining your sanity. Have you noticed? More and more you're becoming like one of us. You reach the truth. Cast aside revelation, lay upon the body of God, and learn the truth of the gods of the sea. Maybe he can, and then he will use it against the gods. The answer you're seeking is tantalizing. Look at me, showing curiosity. Perhaps there's something human in me yet. The relations empfindet up in the instincts of God's children. Our ways of thinking couldn't be more different. Oh my. Sound even more like a Seaborn than I do. Okay, now we do ST7. Which was this one, I think? Come as you please, leave in pieces. No, I did. Okay. Yeah, but this is number 7. Ah, you've returned. Thank you for your contribution. I know how painful it must be for someone like you to go against your faith. But Providence lies just ahead. It's by no means a false promise, but true redemption. I feel like it's gonna be a false promise. I thank you. Lord Carmen is far beyond our comprehension. There's no point trying to deceive him. He will discover the truth before long. We should also thank Fiaco. Our lie has condemned him to death at the hands of the Inquisition. So he at least admitted it was a lie, huh? Never seen the Herald of the Sea, but rumor has it, the Herald will not refuse the requests of its kin. Because the choices of kin must surely benefit the entire kind. Thoughts of kin must also be shared by the entire kind. We ought to learn from this, as this is also part of the cycle. Then we let Fiaco worry about himself. But, you still have doubts. They are necessary. Our prophet, Miss Amaya, will she really be able to come back? She has simply chosen to return the sea one step ahead of us. She is to locate our path, or herald, on the trails of the sleeping city. If she returns, it is to help her kin. If she does not, it's because she's making preparations. We needn't worry too much about her. Just know that she wishes to avoid the scrutiny of the Inquisition, regardless of where she might be. And this person, the Siberian, why did we abduct him? Collateral damage. This patroness seems to have made some kind of agreement with Carmen. Ah. He is an enemy. I really wish you'd choose another way of describing a relationship with the Doctor. You've been investigating us, have you not? I've devoted quite a lot of time explaining our ideals to you. We prefer not to hurt you. Have you thought things through? You wanna join us? I think I've heard everything I need to know about your hypocrisy. Hypocrisy? Ah, you still speak of morality. The morality of the human man. I couldn't care less what these sea terrors or seaborn really are. All I see are a bunch of outlaws demanding a reason to vent their frustrations with Iberia and Inquisition. I haven't lived here for a particularly long time. I am an Iberian. I've been to a lot of places and seen a lot of different things. I'm sorry, I don't know why I feel so sleepy today. Wasn't even like I did much. But I don't know about my body, it's just like turns on stream fucking tired. People like you think they're special are actually Diamond Dawson. The gods you talk about are real, and all that nonsense about being the pinnacle of evolution or the bleeding edge of life. And surely those gods must look down on people like you, right? How dare you? No, he's right. This is why the Herald no longer speaks to us. So only Amaya can hear the voice of the ocean, when she can guide us. There really was something off about Amaya. I should have called her on sooner. Sad. We can say Fiago, maybe. How's it looking? Whatever those things of yours are, that neither seek rent, unable to get into the center of town at all. A black monster can do more than fly. We even belch out terrifying jets of flame. Another sea plant can spit faster than it's being burnt. If if this gets dragged out, my grandfather will fall into the Inquisition's hands as soon as the Sea Terrors holding back the Panic Battalion are exterminated. I think they kinda know. And we all die. No, Fiago, no. All these things you speak of, you do not grieve for the kin who willingly give themselves up to hold back our enemies. He is new to this business, okay? In other words, you're not yet resolved to sacrifice yourself for our entire kind at a moment's notice. It's a big ask, you know? Maybe give him more brochures about your cult? Don't talk to me like that. I was time to line up this time. I'm just an old fogey with no interest in becoming an ocean hacker. What a low-born, stubborn creature. Same to you, friend. And you, lad, then I warn you not to meddle in other people's affairs. Viago, you annoy each other. No, he's just an outsider who kept hanging around the chapel. As the mayor, I need to have at least some idea of every person in town. Just stayed out of it. Right then. Should act soon, right? Or we're going to wait for the Inquisitor and this monster leading accomplished to burn my town to the ground. We will not, as I'm awfully attached to the city. He is the mayor, he has been living here all his life. You know? Why? In far as the embodiment of our generation's spanning vision to rebuild our country, heretic. Ask any of the Iberians who have joined you, and you'll understand. The Inquisition has taken enough from us, and I intend to pay them back in double. I'm Skadi, not Ishamla. Pronounce it differently, but what does it mean? Skadi knows, but dares not answer. Nadia told her that she is alright, and she is willing to believe her. But that is only an escape. She knows what the name means. It means the thunderous war within the abyss. Flesh and bone rubbing against the rock walls until only the will remains searching beyond the ocean. It means that after that harrowing battle something was left in her body. Something. Well, you know, in a sense, everybody will not try to kill you, I think. It's because you're the goddess. My blood and your blood are identical. How did this man even speak? You smell my scent, exactly as we smell your scent. It's kinda interesting how many different ways they evolved, though. You find us, kill us. I mean, this mentor looks so different to the Seaborn we have seen now. And we do not understand, we will kill you too. Defeat the ocean. Our bodies have provided for the ocean. Ishamla. We possess the same home. Inquisitor, how dare you join forces with them? What? Get off my ship this instant. Otherwise you'll join them in my hunt as the quarry. Easy there, Mr. Captain. Now tell me, how did you come to learn of this name? Tell you exactly how. Okay, wait, I'm confused. What? Which number is this? This is 7. Okay, no, this is right. Tell you exactly how. We ate the flesh of these things and our bodies began to change. Because I executed 3 of the survivors. Only we remained. I guess we executed them because we were too far gone, Seaborn-wise. Now it's my turn to ask you. Your blood also flows in your veins. I can smell it. You must be more special than the others. What are you? Look at my hand. Skadi looks down. One of the captain's arms is taking on the form of a Seaborn. And I did not know this, thanks for telling me, game. Its newly formed webbing, clearly visible, and its tentacle-like extension ever squirming. He seems to be making an effort to restrain it. By the looks of it, whatever's inside the dam is also interfering with his body. It bursts from my mind. Compels me to liberate you, to talk to you, to listen to your thoughts. Okay, well, the talking part is nice, liberating maybe not. Get out of my ship before I killed a lot of you. Only by killing you can I maintain my sanity as a human. Be gone! It an immense price us to get here. You truly still are that Iberian hero, and you should join us. Think carefully, little Inquisitor. I've been in a bitter struggle for my life on a ship for longer than my homeland. Hey, thanks for the raid, Malibu. How was your stream? What have you been doing in Arknights? I've just reading to this event. I played the stages kind of when I started the game because I wanted Lumen. But it's finally time to learn more about the Seaborn. You know, being actually a nerd that reads the story and knows the lore of the game. Started playing for the first time today. Oh, that is nice. How are you enjoying the game so far? I hope you had a good time with it. I would say the story at the start of the game is a bit rough, but if you stick with it, the story becomes so much better later on. And if not, the gameplay of this game is still pretty good for a gacha game, not gonna lie. I managed to get to 1-6, but chat lag is still kicking my ass, so I had to end stream early. That's fair, that's fair. But hey, I hope I had at least a good time, even by sleepy. But yeah, if you need to wait and dash, you know, you're welcome to leave, but thank you for the wait. Also, I guess if you don't mind me asking, what made you start playing Arknights? Is it the PC client? More people should be playing Arknights. This is now a side tangent where I feel like Enfield is so much more popular than Arknights itself. While I feel like Arknights is just a better game than Enfield. But yeah, this stream I guess is also kinda spoilers for a side story. And I guess the overall side story, how to best fit it. I guess the whole side story arc, I guess, is probably important to the main story. Just been begging me to play Arknights for a while, but I had to hold off the PC client. That's fair. Oh, the PC client is so good compared to having to play it on an emulator. It was pain. It's crazy that it took like, what, almost 7 years for a PC client. A single year of confinement can break a person's will. Have you any idea how many years we spent here, flirting with the waves?
Hello there.
Right. Enjoy your nap, Dan. And also, thanks for the follow. 7 or 8 years ago, I personally executed the last crew member and threw him into the sea. He died as a human. He was the last too. We were Iberia's best sailors, warriors, and scientists, stronger than our faith. The most common way to die aboard the ship was suicide. Man. Yeah, no, that's just awful. You can't imagine what I've been through. The left side of my body snatched away even my dreams. I no longer needed sleep. That itself was a form of torture. Honestly, that sounds like a baller deal, you know, other than losing your human mind. Imagine not needing to sleep. Imagine all the things you could do in a day. And during this prolonged torture, I've had naught to do but hunt those monsters. Large and small, and while away, remaining hours polishing my ship. Leave me and my chief mate be, and return to where you came from. I don't belong to you or to the sea. I belong only to my Iberia. But sadly, your Iberia kinda does not exist anymore. To the Stultifera navis. Nadia stops walking. While she contemplates why the space is so clean, she notices a change in the scent. Seaborn. Of course there's seaborn here. But what is the cause of this impure odor? Where did this vague premonition she's starting to feel come from? She can only continue walking, following the path etched in the back of her mind, time to reach the depths of the ship. Suddenly, she comes to a stop. Don't you think you're being a bit too obtuse? Appearing on this primitive transport vessel that hasn't docked in over 60 years. Bishop of the Deep? I love the image of Alphonse and Garcia just polishing the ship together for years. Okay, to be fair, if I would be just awake day and night, nobody else is around other than my mate, there would be a lot of mating, and what else are we doing otherwise then? I guess we are just polishing this goddamn ship and keep it intact, because at least it's something to do. I assume maybe they had some books and stuff on the ship, but you know, you read through it all in like 60 years easily. You saw to me immediately. Do you suppose that means I chose the wrong place to appear? You followed us here. Hardly. Strictly speaking, I was the one who went first. I was here first. This is my ship now. The ocean communicates with me. It accepts me. It aids me. I am the chosen one. From the very beginning, coming to the ship was a trivial task. You've been able to suppress your urge to rush forward and slay me is already quite impressive. Is it because you feel the ship is vital to your grand plans? Yeah, I'd imagine how much we get for selling this ship. What are you after? He killed Quintus. He did it to himself. I should have known better. So even you test tube watching bottom feeders. Pardon my language, will pursue vengeance. No, you misunderstand. Quintus was a bit too eager to attain the souls. The temperament of his not only led to his demise, but also demonstrated conclusively that he was born human. So I want to thank you for showing us our flaws. But that's something to be ashamed of, and our doctrine will never become what we seek to be by thought alone. Only changes to nerve and sinew can be considered real. Wouldn't you agree, Abyssal Hunter? We don't need to be enemies. I have no plans to do anything to you. One son is decided at the moment of one's birth. I guess you are destined to die. Other than Alfonso. Alfonso will live forever. Nothing can change this immutable fact. We went to all this effort to follow us out to sea. Just dispute this nonsense? About that. That's not something you need to know. Those lowly creatures won't be able to hold me back. Amaya smiles sweetly, but does not answer. A blue light emerges from under her feet, and it soon envelops the entire corridor. Another seep went. How much control do they have over it? Another seep went at Grand Favo. Do those traps wear your handiwork? Hardly. You also quick to blame your every misfortune on the Church of the Deep. Never stop consider the truth behind this phenomena. It's just the ocean answering our calls. It's not our fault, okay? These children have always existed in Panfaro. I simply found them. Cut the crap. We're out in the middle of the ocean. Our touch, invisible to the naked eye, is everywhere. The ship may not be of much use in your quest to return to Aegir, but must you really insist on returning? You never had the slightest inclination to listen to what the heralds have to say. Seems you aren't too different from that stupid bishop after all. Never even been in a real fight, otherwise you'd never say such an idiotic thing to a hunter. No, but not all hunters take such pride in their arrogance. We will meet again, Claudia. Aw, you've disappointed me, but that's fine. Perhaps it's for the better that you have something to pick out of. Meaning? But whether you come or go, or whether Aegir comes and goes, is not for me to decide. You won't be leaving this conversation alive, though. Beady. Winter should have had a herald by his side. You fought with that herald. You spoke with the herald. Yeah, we killed Mr. Herald. While you stagnate in place, the ocean is ever in motion. Aegir is far from smart enough to curb evolution itself. Hold it. Bloody such weak, pitiful prey. They cannot even speak. More like a beast. Hurry up and die. I should have escorted to settle with that bishop. Need answers from her. Did you hear that, chief mate? Or quarry praise. It calls out to us. The monster known as the chief mate not slightly and uses its claw to straighten the crown at the crown that started to slip from its head. It is kind of a very cute crown, I must say. How did he make it? I guess it just got it from the ocean, kinda. It prays, it calls out to us. You brought yet more rebel with you. It must be swordfish. You must have discovered something. There's something unusual about the smell here. The sea breeze is confusing us. Good thing these filthy Aegir haven't scared it away. I've been bumping around for months. Hate to see my ship even more beat up. By hunt? You mean you're hunting the Seaborn? Hey, he needs to eat something, right? Seaborn? Sure I am. Hunting to live off the bounty of the land. Hasn't humanity done so since the dawn of time? But if you still haven't left by the clock's next chime, you will die. Okay, so this was 7. I did the normal 7, so it's 8 now. It's no weird I had... Actually, I think I'm also just gonna take a quick break again, just to take a quick walk to be awake again. But yeah, I want to keep going. I'm not sure if we can finish this whole event, but we will get far in it. So yeah, be right back for 3 minutes. back. Let's observe the command ball. There's no vote ahead, as far as the eyes can see. Who needs a vote? We're on a fucking ship. Exactly. The key. It's here. Let me hear. And uncovered his scent. Seems he learned a handful of tricks from his time on land. While he looks all around her, he knows that someone once considered a friend is watching her closely. But she does not hesitate, nor does she have the luxury to hesitate. She must retrieve the secrets of the ship as quickly as possible, return them to Aegir. She wishes to return to her home. She wishes to offer her aid to avert calamity. Yeah, we don't talk about calamity these days, okay? She looks at the key in her hands. She swings open the door to the treasury. Burning away all the Netherseed brand is no small feat. I really ought to thank Calcid and that jet-black creature of hers. Netherseed brand was unable to devour this reef. Unfortunate. Yet this is but one of my myriad forms. You have not heard the prophecy, so you would not understand. Prophecy. You think yourselves more than a band of refugees clinging to unknown life forms. What sort of future did you expect? Hey Iman, how are you doing today? How was your week? Already see your stream? I do this from time to time, at least this week. Man, soon I have to travel so much for work, but we gonna finish this fucking side story beforehand. I just didn't do too good now, sick and tired. Fair. I hope it's nothing too bad. I hope you get at least some good rest in, and drink plenty. That always helps. I see, and I'm a hypocrite, and I feel like when I'm sick, I'm not the best at taking care of myself, to be honest. Our prophet is nothing like you. She never paints images of a false future, nor she makes promises she cannot fulfill. She spoke thusly. The countless massive scales shall merge into one and fly into the vast expanse. An iceberg college somehow made things worse by having a fire emergency test right now. Yippee! Isn't it basically super late at night already for you? At least it's no real fire. Yeah, that sounds just meh. It's been long them weeks and didn't been home for some times. That's very fair. You spoke thusly. That countless massive scales shall merge into one and fly into the vast expanse. The ocean will be smeared with light, forever growing, never drying up. Life and death will disappear and merge into a single entity. At that time, even the false cosmos will be unable to eclipse the light of life. It's too okay, I thought it would be like, you know, like 11 or something for you, like midnight. But who the hell does make a fire emergency test at 2 AM? Well, got to go. Kinda understandable. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you will do better soon. Get well soon. We shall all live in that ecosystem. We are all part of its magnificent cycle. Life is born, is given purpose, seeks birth and disappears. Only for the cycle to begin anew. Sounds a whole lot like that sort of elaborate hallucination that can be cooked up by original arts. It's pushing Iberia to its current precipice, slaughtering millions of lives, also part of their magnificent cycle. What do you possibly know? Our kind does not consider the death of an individual to be an end. Even when a life ends, it remains part of the cycle. You hang me. You're assless. Above all, you're only human, heretic. You won't take me alive, Inquisitor. You know all about your heinous original arts. You're all prepared to make the greater sacrifice. Our profit will remain as out of reach to you as time itself slipping to your fingertips. My Inquisitor, everyone in Grand Faro has long held a grudge against you people. Panel Battalion cannot approach this place, and you are alone. I think the Inquisitor still got us. There's nowhere for you to run. Run? Did you think we came here to entertain your sophistry about good and evil? He's not saying anything. Siberian's a damn imbecile. That black monster must have some kind of weakness. It's extremely durable and can burn the netherseed brand with ease. What the hell is that thing? If you don't tell us, then by the time the panel battalion breaks free, we have already lost. Can't even handle Dr. Kite's seat in the Inquisitor. Admit it, you've already lost. Shut up! I'm gonna make you... Wait, what are you doing? What's your staff moving... Why is your staff moving around? What did you do? Beating up all your henchmen. Guess you spent so much time researching tentacle monsters that you forgot what original words are. Seriously, get your head out of the clouds. Get... You self-righteous bastard. Think you haven't made ample preparations? You have any idea how long we've waited to flush out all of you scum colluding with the Inquisition? Don't fall for his tricks. He's been hiding in this town for months now. Definitely a spy. One well versed in communications to boot. There's a chance our position has already been compromised. Spies? Spies? Of course the Inquisition spies have been lurking among us since long ago. I knew about you people because you never tried to hide it. Amaya and I are close, but the Inquisition is different. They already don't like us, and if they wanted to hide, how would you ever know? After all, we've been nothing but laborers for generations. Pull him out then, and feed him to our kin. Let us these plant growth is slowing down. We need more nutrients to stop the panel battalion. We should also find an escape route. Alright, I'll lead the way. Nobody's more familiar with this town than me. We've left behind plenty of secret passages and underground depots. You shouldn't be doing this, Fiaco. How long have we known each other? And now you're gonna preach to me, you platitude-spewing salad? Stand up and walk. Time to become a part of the sea. The bell's gonna toll one more time. Let's see. The union of Originum and Aegir technology. A sturdier dome, the use of modules on nomadic cities on land, and the scalability of Originum arts. But this is how the genius of the Academy of Sciences viewed this land. He managed to accomplish all this decades ago. Forever. However, it's still not enough. Oh, Mr. Penis. We are over farming. Look at them. Aegir would be able to accomplish all this even without making contact with land. The creation of certain technologies cannot make the difference between victory and defeat. I knew it. It's you. I wish it weren't, though, my penis. Stay back. Take another step and I'll run you through my old combat in arms. Skadi once thought herself the last of the Abyssal Hunters. I thought of herself the last of the Abyssal Hunters. Even she had thought you that. But here you are. How insightful of you, Consul Claudia. Claudia gonna kick ass? I hope she will. I mean, I don't know how powerful Piers actually is in lore, but I just know him as actual operator, and he kinda busted. Okay, he's not like Wizardal busted, but he's still pretty strong. Circumstances don't seem to call for prompt and ceremony, Consul Penis. Feeling a bit nostalgic over titles long disused, are we? You know, catching up the good old days. If you know each other long enough, you should know very well what it means when a hunter doesn't return. I've exuded no fewer than you. I can assure you that if any survivors have sunk into the abyss, I'd still hang them up to bake on the reefs before they ever got a chance to hear that song. What about now? The week of descent, you've become one of them. I mean, to be fair, you are also basically just a sea-born, slowly but surely white Gladia. Don't lie to yourself, Gladia. You're strict with others, but even more so with yourself. Has wandering the land sufficiently satisfied your desire to torment yourself? Hunter, I will kill you. Your answer doesn't satisfy me. Gladia, most of the situation's largely out of your hands. I'm forced to approach the problem from a different angle. What situation? Like you, I have spent some time on land. But what I saw was different. Did you come to understand the civilizations on land? No, I don't need to answer that. Gladia, the ever-arrogant. For their civilizations to survive, it tapped into originum. It brought them opportunity and hope, but it also unprecedented calamity. To this day, we still have not fully analyzed its principles. I've witnessed many tragedies. They've given them the name catastrophes. They are foolish, ignorant, and weak. The way they struggle and die is still harrowing. I mean, you know, but we're also evolving and getting better at handling them, I think. The Aegir are no different. You were never the sentimental in the past. No, sentiment has nothing to do with this. What I'm saying is Aegir provoked the ocean in order to survive, and the ocean devoured it in return. Then, ocean gave birth to us. I guess I don't know how the Seaborn actually started out compared to the Aegir. So, I'm not sure who started the war, but I don't think you can say the ocean gave birth to you. Wasn't it, at least what I would think, isn't it that this abyssal hunters are made by the Aegir as kind of experiments to fight the Seaborn, so we just infused Aegir with Seaborn blood. So I feel like you're more Aegir. We're products of a grotesque struggle. If we're unable to resolve this problem at its root, we're unable to resolve it at all. What did you see, your penis? What did you see to make you abandon the bonds of blood and the camaraderie we shared in battle? Sanctuary, no doubt, that is what those filthy cultists would have called it. Your familiarity with them only reduces my trust in you. He was just gathering information, but a word is an apt description. You know what Aegir once found in the depths of the ocean? And a historian, a general education would have covered at least this. Thousands of years ago, we reached the heart of the ocean. They found the point of origin, the cradle of civilization. Is this where we planted original rock first or something? Or, as far as I know, Gladia. Even those Seaborn, the deepest recesses of their nest. I saw it, a construct. But even the greatest science consuls of Aegir would have been able to make sense of what I saw. I was unable to go deeper, as my injuries were too severe. My blood boiled, my ears rang, but still I felt. What? The plurality of him. Plurality of who? Well, it doesn't even slightly explain why he abandoned the team. Should have brought this information back. And millions of cries returned to a single point. Then had Seaborn all murmured the same name from within the differently shaped shacks. Ishamla. I knew it. Or rather, Skadi. So what, you want to bring Skadi back to them? They escape into the sea. Matter, we return. We'll continue to wait. We decided we were its kin. Pathetic. I see it too. We're speaking actually like a twister, or a mirage of an ocean city. What a strange sight. Huh. It sure was lively today. I've had as much commotion since young Jamie and the chef died. Hey, it's also our man. Pomegranate Leber. Knight? I was expecting to see you back so soon. Will you come rushing to my ship because you missed the scent of your hometown? Have you gone completely mad yet? The knight simply stares at her pointer in silence. But almost immediately, his sight fixates once again up in the ocean. Once it follows his gaze, and through the years in which time itself has become nebulous, day and night have already lost all meaning. Are you still hunting the terrible waves? I sure hope the blood of these monsters hasn't made you immortal. You can look forward to drowning one day. What a joyous thing. The whole lot of wind today. Waves are the ocean's breath. It still has not stopped breathing. I don't think the ocean will ever stop. It has not died. Just like the monsters on land. They devour, destroy. The monsters on land, civilization. Miles was upset that he lives in a society. Skadi. I just remembered something else. Oh, did we manage to survive? Oh, did you survive? I can't remember the details. We accidentally slashed again and again without pause until finally he... What I meant was, if they really wanted us dead back then, would they have been able to survive? Maybe they wanted to plant a Shamla into one of the Abyss Hunters or something for evolution purposes. Let me put it another way. Iki doesn't know we're alive either. We have no way of knowing. Was it Swordfish who said she wanted to come to the ship? You have a favorite character side story so far? That's a good question. Honestly, I guess Last Night is not that much of a character. So I do like him, but it's not like he has that much presence. Otherwise, I very much do like Irene. I guess she would probably be it. But I also still feel like I might be biased because of other side stories for that. Who would be your favorite character in the side story? Yes, she said the ship could bring us home. This does to be eager craftsmanship. Will the ship right pay again? Name doesn't ring a bell. Yeah, because I'm still telling you, he became inside and became Last Night. Favorite is Claudia, I'm so biased though. She is pretty cool and kicks ass though, so... Never did remember the scientist's name. It's kind of wild for me, since I did not have any context, but like that Claudia was basically just a welfare unit while being more or less the captain of the Abyss Hunters. That's kind of... I don't know why they planned it out this way. But yeah, I like her. I guess at some point we'll get Claudia out or something like that. I feel like... Okay, I don't know what they're actually teasing, but I feel like so much of like the more recent like story and side stories did keep teasing like Aki and Seaborn stuff, right? So I assume we sooner or later will also get a Seaborn or Aki side story. I'm not sure what this story arc actually would be categorized in. So hey, I feel like a Claudia older at some point is probably also likely. Do you? Her being a welfare helped me when I first started Arknights too. I mean, I think she is still kind of considered one of the best welfare units, right? Honestly, Seaborn's storyline is kind of stacked. Since, for me, it was on Claudia, since I guess I never really needed any shifting. I still should invest in Gladia. To be fair, I don't even remember what they're called. They're not, I guess it's whatever the polar class are called. So I didn't really need her too much or anything like that, but I do want to invest in her. Like, it's still so far off, but once her penis is in the certificate store, I still want to get him for sure. And then build her. But yeah, Lumen has been carrying my ass. Like, he was a decent healer when I started out playing the game for sure. Not that I needed like the elemental healing or anything like that. But honestly, he's overall just a decent healer. Especially since, okay, now I'm gonna sound like... Pedalopsis is still a good healer. I would at least say so. But yeah, all my healing was Pedalopsis beforehand, getting him was also pretty neat. She's a good combo for Alpinus. Yeah, I think she gives Alpinus so much reach and right. I think. It's such a relief, even talking to you like this. But it's also funny, like, what's interesting about gacha games, which also will be a very different experience depending on when you start the game, is why does this thing peeps? You don't need better VC. Okay, I will need to get up, but let me finish the thought. So just, you kind of get attached to the characters you get early on that carry your ass. Like, I will for always have like sympathies to like Savia and Thorn, since those were like my first 6 stars, and they're pretty cool. I guess I feel like at this point Thorn's got power capped with what I have. But yeah, I will have always a weak spot for him for sure. Yeah, I will quickly get up and fucking deactivate my smoke detector. I don't know. I don't get this thing. Yes, you peeps. I'm alive. Don't worry. Okay. But yeah, just a different experience. This is fun then. Just a relief, even talking to you like this. Are you back for good, Laurentina? You won't leave us again, will you? You have to be so cheesy about it. Also been with you. Things just got a bit blurry in the middle there. Plus, it's kind of fun playing the part of a well-behaved man. You know, it was just fun to roleplay for a little bit. Oh, but the captain had this outfit specially made for me by our friends over at Woods Island. She already knew my measurements even. Aww. Be honest, you could be a bit taller. Wait, how do you know that? I was only helping out. Captain said she didn't trust the tastes of the landwalkers. Tastes? We both know that's the last thing she cares about. Though, at least I can appreciate how she always makes sure these details are in place. You said you like long dresses. I did always have the impression. But I rarely do these tailoring activities. These symbols, they're Kirian letters. We wrote them together. It's the ABC, yippee! We talk about you, about Gladia, about me, about Aegir, our home. Okay, it's kind of sweet after you basically lose your memory to just, you know, your friends just basically giving you basic messaging always to have with you so you can remember them. Whose idea was this? Couldn't have been mine, right? We all came up with it together. What about the style? Swordfish picked it. Oh, unlike her. We have to dedicate ourselves to better. Sure, but no reason I can doll myself up before the hunt, right? I mean, to be fair, I do love long dresses. You know, you look cute in it, but I also will give you that's not great for combat, you know? Skadi, do you know what the first thought was when I emerged from my stupor and remembered who I am? What? It was to re-examine myself, to see how different I was from that clear but distant memory of myself on the other side of the shore. I was dressed as a good little nun last time, didn't particularly mind. But now that my trusty companions have chosen my outfit for me, makes me even happier. Can you understand how I feel? Definitely better than when you woke up in a jar in Salviento. I love waking up in a test tube. That's for sure. So that's why we're going to win over Mr. Captain right now, yes? Leave it to me. No, impossible. Ishamla. When I sank into the trance along with the Titan's corpse, enduring a pressure that no ordinary Aegir could bear, so something I'd never seen before. Bloody hell. You know why Aegir distances itself from the land? You know the many theorems as to why original and catastrophes cannot invade us. Actually, what is the reasoning? I do get that, like, the Seaborn did kinda evolve away from the original, right? It's kinda so... But I think it's also super dangerous if they actually get to evolve with the original and include it into themselves. But why is there, like, no catastrophes or original underwater? I guess it was blended for the civilization, but on land, I guess, but still. Most of them have been proven correct. The ocean's like a petri dish, nourishing and protecting the purity of Aegir. But what if the civilization we're so proud of is nothing more than mold growing on the back of some giant? I guess he's not wrong. We're always exceptionally inquisitive, a quality that allowed you to make contributions in various fields, sowing the seeds for great breakthroughs. But to slander Aegir? You've changed so much I hardly recognize you. Plus, you should know the boundaries of what is appropriate. The speculation about Skadi. You levy the cruelest of accusation against your fellow hunter. Seaborn is thus a broad catch-all name. As you know, morphology is significantly more complex. You've been concerned that Skadi might become an even higher form of them, have you not? First and foremost, I'm concerned that you've chosen the wrong path. The first company and the fourth company perished along the way, one after the other, creating an opportunity for us to break through. And you, the second company, stayed near the nest's entrance. It seems wrong to even describe it as a nest. We'd entered a vast singular entity, where we're nothing more than tiny germs. But germs are more than capable of killing a healthy person. True. So... we're gonna take down all of civilization, and we were successful, so we led ourselves to believe. I simply fell into a deep sleep along with his corpse. Blood, if that luminous substance can even be called that, drenched my whole body and enveloped me. I simply slumbered with his corpse for a long, long time. I hid the crevices of his empty shell, leaning against the remnants of his flesh, while all sounds around me fell silent. But what about Skadi? It was she who dealt the final blow. It was not a normal killing. How did they actually kill Ishmael? Or was it a hunt? It was feeding. A feeding of their kind. The conjecture's both correct and faulty. They assume that all hunters will eventually lose control and become seaborn. No, not Skadi. I already understand those who witnessed him. Those of us who sank into the trench and floated back up all understand. You mean to say that if anything goes wrong, we must kill her? That's not ominous at all. She's your hunter. You still haven't offered an explanation for your deliberate cover-up and betrayal. And you would have me trust your speculation like this? You're not keen on your habit of staying silent? Maybe I have to take away your mobility and track you back to Aegir. A pity that one of our consuls might finally fall in battle. Put our morale. I mean, he's already assumed that. We will recover from this. Let's see you try. Bloody how can you still claim to represent Aegir when you're so distraught about your own transformation? This is an opportunity. I don't expect your assistance or even understanding, but some of us cannot afford to pass up this opportunity. Only by uncovering the truth do we have a chance at survival. How is that related to what you're doing? You came for the ship. I came for Pagan. Already made a breakthrough. Pagan's evidence corroborates what I've seen. Truly an amazing man. I think he arrived at these same conclusions in that era, under those conditions. Those by your side, where they understand that only they are truly valuable. All of the land dwellers will ever understand, and thus he died in solitude. I wouldn't say that nobody understands, but for someone as strong and resolute as yourself, how many times have you said but? We are colleagues, together we are the architects of this war. We should trust in each other more. Well, stop vague posting then. Final word of advice, don't return to Aegir. But I want to say Aegir, it sounds like Aegir must be kinda cool place, all things considered. I wanna know what happened to it. It's too soon, too dangerous. Too many things we haven't straightened out. Going back now is wasted effort. But you do not know what has become of it. Wonder if, do we get actually to Aegir in Path of Life, or did he just do something else? Remain on land. Would something happen? Of course, she is my hunter. I will shoulder the responsibility. Nadia wants to say something else. When she turns her head, a tremendous cracking sound spreads to every corner of the room. A violent shuddering follows, her two filling the table scattered across the ground, seeming to sear her vision. Leviathan. For the chief designers of warfare proposed the Abyssal Hunter plan, for the Abyssal Hunters delved into their nest. Here again chose the title that the foolish land dwellers are obsessed with to this day. Leviathan is a good name, okay. Wanted to fully elucidate the nature of calamities. Found the last piece of the puzzle on land. Hi, my man. My So you up your gun. I'm so smart. The smell of wheat. Homeland supports me. My family supports me. Until I crush the ocean. The two hunters look at the brooding night. Radia clenches the key in her hand. Then take a look at this monster. Take a good look. He appears human, but is not human. Even the ocean's skin reject him. Day in and day out, he searches for the terrible waves and seeks to quash them. An endless, futile pursuit. Just like us. Okay, you don't have to become like him, you know? You could put more meaning to your mission than just endlessly killing waves of Seaborn. So this was 8, then we go to 9. The Seaborn never see their own as enemies. This is a behavior unique to humans. I mean, if they never see their own as enemies, why are they still fighting the Abyss Hunters though? Or I guess most of them just don't realize the difference. So this should be 9. Yeah, okay. Pick up the pace. This nether sea plant. What exactly is it? If it's a pretty cancer, you know? Have you tried playing around it? Though tiny and varying in form, these fluorescent life forms are also an extension of our kin. The prophet once said there's a part of the ocean where these glowing creatures fill the entire sea. They are the whole, and they shape the cradle of life for our kin. The sea plant is thus fragments of his will from tens of thousands of nautical miles away. Washed in like the tide, when a tiny amount will inevitably consume the land. Will turn the land into a new kind of ocean. Indeed. So Iberia was the first sacrifice for your plans. Pharaoh is the next. Sacrifice? Surely you're using the wrong word. No. Inquisition will take away my town. And this beautiful nether sea plant will do the same. Either way, it's no longer our home. We lose its history, its golden years of explosive growth and vitality. Yago, surely you don't mean... Jordi has been taken away as well. The ones who escaped have probably all been rounded up by the panel battalion by now. You're all murderers. Monster? I will drop here. Impossible. Just on the west side of town. Lighthouse Fiaco. And you too? Who became an Inquisition spy? Was this the daughter of an ordinary Quen Favo laborer? Was made our hatred. All the humiliation we've endured was just to take you all down. Yippee! Iago is at least not totally stupid. Both you and the Inquisition are nothing more than enemies stumbling over our home. See for yourself what real destruction looks like. See for yourself what you saw back then. Fiaco, get down! Me. There's nothing left to tinker with. Everything else is out of power. What it remains is to see how long this lighthouse can hold out. Now the seaplane has already reached this floor. Have to keep climbing higher. Already gonna get out of this, thank visitor. His arms have gone numb. The shape of the weave has already changed dramatically. The Inquisitor spares no effort when annihilating all enemies in his sight. They cannot kill him off, right? I feel like... I guess I could see them killing him off, but how would Lumen get out of the situation? But his enemies are quite literally endless. His sword is corroded, and he's expanded his wall of explosives. Only the flame in his lantern burns even brighter than before. Not once does Dario look behind him, to the lighthouse he has defended from the beginning. Looks beyond the sea's horizon. Creatures of the sea, Iberia will not be destroyed by you. Ranta will not be destroyed by you. Picks up the blood stuck in his throat. Metallic sand fills his nostrils. And I too will not be destroyed by you. It would take more than death. Be patient and wait here, Garcia. Man, at least you are, like, at your captain's side till the end, squats beside the captain obediently. It's always boring, waiting for our quarry to take the bait. So remember the second time you went to hunt these monsters? We still had over 100 survivors back then. When first set sail, the air was filled with cheering and salutes from the cannons. Those sounds still echo in our ears to this day. Bid farewell to the grand shore, carrying the legends of Aegir as you sprinted towards the depths. After a few days at sea, yes, only a few days, calamity struck. Why did the stupid god himself rob you of your language? I wish to chat with you again, other than the stupid transit idiots who took over 60 years to get here. That must be so lonely. Oh. Rubs his hands in sorrow. Good day, Mr. Captain. Oh, we just happened to be short some bait. Fancy a dip? Visiting you an Aegir after all. What? Already forgotten what I said? Either you leave or I toss you overboard. Or... hey, third alternative, what if we just work together? It's a miracle you survived. I never thought any Iberians would have made it after all this time. It's got nothing to do with you or with Iberia. After 60 years, the only thing I belong to is the ship. But let me give it a try, Skadi. How goes the hunt? Maybe my extremely cordial attitude has stoked a number of misunderstandings. I can tell that the blood of monsters flows in your veins, just like me. But if you wanna cut us down, it would be hypocritical to then keep living yourself, no? No? Yeah, the same? You, us, and your chief mate too? Who gave you permission to talk about Garcia? Who gave you permission to look at my Garcia? You filthy Aegir mongrels? I never told you what Garcia used to be. You don't know if they were a man or a woman, tall or short, fat or skinny, pervo or devil. Does it matter? But know that Garcia is my chief mate and my lover. I will never reveal their former self to outsiders. very progressive of you, you know? Thank you. Still, we don't need your pity or comparison to whatever image of you we might have from the past. Neither of us need any of that. What a joke. Hunters whose blood is mixed with that of their prey. Not even the ocean's wave can wash away your filth. You dare bare your fangs in front of us. Skadi pours far into a throne. He really cares about what others have to say, especially land dwellers. But the words coming from the exception in front of her make her feel uncomfortable. My chief mate shoots a sharp glance at Skadi. It is a warning. But we need your help. What? Do you call these monsters again? See something? Oh, Seaborn. Okay, so why should we help you, Seaborn? Do you know how many good lads lost their lives to the sea after the calamity? Well, you have the same enemy. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Have you ever heard that? You float around on these waters and refuse to return to port, as I insist that you're an enemy of the sea. Yep, that's my life. Why did he never return? We are abyssal hunters. We come from Aegir, and while we can only guess how exactly you survived, we have nothing but respect for you. I also hope you understand that everything we do is to fight against those enemies. And I should care about what Aegir does. Why? No, you misunderstand. Skadi shoots a glance at Spectre beside her, and she said, "Let me give it a try." Skadi thought she meant that she'd be better at negotiating. Oof. But throwing her weapon should absolutely not be a part of negotiations. That is when negotiations are over. Let me rephrase that. It's our job to slaughter them. Happen to find that process rather enjoyable. Since you're only hunting for food, I can leave you some of the meat when I'm done. After all, I don't like dealing with that nauseating stuff. You think pretty highly of yourselves, eh? Compared to the Victorians or Lithanians? I've seen the way you kill Seaborn. You aren't worth a damn thing. Okay, how are you saying not worth a damn thing? Have you seen how anybody else fights the fucking Seaborn? Oh, don't get us wrong. Dealing with the low-level creatures you call sea terrors doesn't even count as combat for the second company. But he isn't exactly the stingy type either. I'm stronger than you. That's an indisputable fact. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Mr. Chief Mate, or Miss. It's not your turn yet. Lay a finger on Garcia and you're dead. Oh, really? Since our captain's mission is to retrieve the ship and return to Aegir, we don't have the luxury of sitting around trying to convince you. This way's always been the more straightforward means of communication, the Hunter's way. You've got a death wish. King, I've come for you. Hunt and conceal is an important matter. Eat your veggies. Not all, King. But I know you guys will return to our kind. So I ask, what will you do? Piss off. See, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's that easy. Oh, there's an easy way to prove that you're not a Seaborn. Kill it. Unless you're unwilling to attack your kin. I sincerely hope that you won't track me down. I'm more worried about you showing mercy to your twisted kin, Aegir. Don't you worry over nothing. After all, if I really was on their side, you'd be dead already. So once I prove I'm not one of them, I'm willing to lend us your ship. Not a chance in hell. Ship belongs to me. What if you just go on an adventure with us, looking for the One Piece? That's too bad. Maybe if I'd help you lose that arm of yours during this battle, I'll wake up a part of your humanity? Chief Mate, stay back, don't do anything. Let's see how much of a difference there's between us and these monsters claiming to be human. But who is Skadi? Don't search my mark. This hunt is mine. I need to let off a little bit of steam. Seaborn just looks at them. Hunting must be done. Purpose to mold the environment. You're rich in nutrients. Well, time to get eaten. This was 9, right? Okay, we're done crazy now. I think this was number 9. It would be so nice if I could. Okay, this was number 9, so we do 8 now. I guess we did eat the man. What happened? You're weak. I'm begging you, man. Please tell her the next time something like this happens, alright? Put another sound like that, and I won't be able to save you. How's the situation? That woman's monsters. Have they all been burned away yet? I can't say for sure, but probably. I mean, I've only seen the full extent of monsters' firepower and technical records before. Burn it. Burn it all. And fire is already a thing of the past. Let's burn it all down. Mr. Fiaco, you... Twitter! And you, Iberian. I've caught your scents. This is where you're hiding. Came at just the right time. Yes, just the right time. What are you? Already blind and beyond recognition. Serves him right for pleasuring himself with that monster. Serves you right, you hear me? Serves me right. It sure does. Fiaco? I'm choosing to trust a man blinded by hatred for ever having delusions. That people like you could be saved. Serves me right indeed. But now, everything is different. Bones grind and crunch together. See terrors, but when? Fiaco, don't get too close. Something's wrong with this guy. Imperium must be destroyed. We'll annihilate this country. This land will become the ocean's cradle. The waves shall swallow the clouds, and scores of mountains will dissolve without a sound. We shall all become one. Watch out, Fiaco. Fiaco is already transforming into a monster, just like in the reports from Salviento. I'll start with you, Twitter. The perpetuation of life eternal. Iberia is meaningless. Meaningless, you say? Are you calling for me by name, heretic? My Inquisitor, you made it just in time. Go ahead and pray. We'll prove to you that your god is meaningless too. We'll watch as Iberia sinks into the abyss. That will never happen. What? My name is Carmen... Is it Carmen the First Iberia or Carmen... Iberia? And the 9 saints gave themselves this false title. They abandoned their own names, and with it, their beliefs. We are immolated by lies. Nobody knows this better than us. God never offered salvation to Iberia. We must become our own gods. You know, God helps those who help themselves. On behalf of the Inquisition, I hereby read your sentence, heretic. What is this heaviness I feel? My body has already been accepted by my kin. My life has already received sublimation. So why? Why am I unable to take my eyes off this lantern? Self-preservation? Yes, all Inquisitors are quite powerful, so I am on guard. You may kill me, but you cannot kill our kind. Kill our kind, and the sea will die. When the sea dies, the land will die with it. We will all eventually drown in the rising tide of evolution. We will not live to see this land's future. This era is bloated and discordant. We are all but livestock trapped in cages. I will put you and your Inquisition. What? He looks at his body in disbelief. A beautiful cross-section. Since the invasion of Canfaro began, the old Inquisitor who sat at the town's chapel has never lifted his hand even once. He never wielded his sword or threw his hand cannon. He used only his lantern and his arts, befitting someone as ancient as him. Yes, ancient. He's very old. A span of time far too great for the ordinary life to endure. Land-crawling livestock. How did you... At least I was able to buy... I've accomplished nothing. A brand new life form, yet unable to take the life of even this old Iberian. What you have to be proud of. Look at me, heretic. You... Damn you! You were once human too, but you narrow-mindedly misjudged the potential of your own race. For tens of thousands of years is how we have won our wars. Nature selects, life adapts. You and your pathetic ideas will be buried in Iberia. For the last breath be sure to pass on to our thunderous sword to your kin. The sea faces an ancient enemy called civilization. It's hard to topple that one, when you stand no chance of overcoming. You understand nothing. Wonder what the overall Seaborn goal is other than I feel like evolving and assimilating everything. How's he doing? Been trying everything I could this whole time, but the wound's too deep. If only Dr. Calcite were here. He needs medical attention immediately, sir. Where is she? Waiting in the chapel. I should make this clear, member of Void Silent. His reason is defensible. He must answer for his crimes. Didn't he do the right thing, though? Only sheltering the Church of a Deep Cultist has caused the Inquisition to lose the prime opportunity. This also placed Davio and countless of our brothers in the panic battalion in grave peril. Old fool. Man, you know, I lost a lot of him with Friago when he first went, like, after, like, 2 sentences of just very easily to see lies and manipulation to go, like, you know what, the cult is cool. But, you know, I think he overall did always do this best for his town and everything. So, it's hard not to feel better about him. How old are you, enemy? 100? Or do you still pretend to have so much energy? It's my duty. So you must know all sorts of things. Tell me, Inquisitor. Tell me the truth, you wretched executioner. Why would you destroy a band of people, hoping to rebuild their home? All of you. All of you. Don't speak, Viago. Then stop the pleading. I think he is fine with that. No, I must ask. All of you. The Inquisition. Those Egi you took from Canfaro. Were there really any cultists among them? Tell me, did you really, out of paranoia, nothing more than a laughable paranoia, kill all those good people? Ordinary citizens have no right to know the Inquisition's secrets. You bastard. Knowing the truth will not help you cling onto your fading life, Viago. No, I'm begging you, I'm going to die. You still won't tell me the truth. At least, Mammon, tell me. The files on Grandfather's Egi have been sealed. I'm unable to disclose anything to a civilian. Man. I mean, he's dying anyways, come on. No, give him some closure. I curse you. So I'll never forgive you. Iberia will. His malediction never leaves his mouth. Old Friago looks at the dim, damp ceiling. A top of water is about to fall from the wooden beams. Man, poor Lumen. Well, poor Jody. He kinda lost his home here, huh? But he's gone. So, what's the truth? I don't see how this has anything to do with you either, member of Void Silent. Return to Calcite. Lost too much time. Iberia will likely fall. Please, tell me. As a member of Void's Island, I also wish to cooperate with the Inquisition. But before that, I'm Iberian. I didn't know of Iago for very long, but I just realized he would never curse Iberia, because he truly saw this place as his home. But after realizing that, that's all the more reason I can just... Lord Carmen, after witnessing so many tragedies in my homeland, well, you can just tell me to turn a blind eye to it all. Man, Elysium is climbing the power rankings. He has a backbone at least. Carmen glances over the aged laborer resting in Elysium's arm. His eyes betray a slightly different emotion. After a moment of silence, he speaks. After the 130 Egi were taken from Grandfather, and of them, about half had ties with the Church of the Deep. Even some members of the Panel Battalion formerly stationed in town were revealed to be traitors. They stole a large amount of information on Albia's seafaring era, obstructed the Inquisition. They're plotting from the very beginning to turn Canfavo into a nexus for the sea's invasion of the land. Leading them was a female bishop, an Egi Islander. A woman the people called Marvin. No, now give him his burial. Strong. Work together. They're strong enough to lead our kind. But you do not plan to do this. This puzzles me. Okay, what if we unite the Seaborn and then we go to a war against Priestess and Originum? Our kind, how will you treat them? Willpower begets all. Any chasm can be crossed. Our environment, complete and pure. Impurities are not needed. What parents? I'm trying to find an answer, but the question is not clear. I cannot ask yet. Sounds of bones grinding and whopping. What is a bone whopping sound? Do all of the sea's infants learn to talk as quickly as you? It seems like a very smart one. What's wrong, Mr. Captain? Has your loneliness finally compelled you to seek companionship with talking seaborns? No, every wound on its body has been my handiwork so far. It's still alive and kicking. We're just getting to the good part. Fighting is meaningless. Leaving is the correct choice. Why are you not leaving then? Get back here. Tore to the wall and flat. Why did Iberians have to make the ship so complex anyway? I won't allow it to continue thrashing my ship. Garcia! That's cheating, you know? How do you think we managed to keep the ship from getting riddled with holes and sinking while surrounded by monsters for all these years? Relying solely on Biogan's technology? Systematically kill the ones fighting enough to cause damage. Then, little by little, the survivors slowly sew up the scars still left behind. This one can be considered intelligent as far as they go. But it's by no means the strongest. I'm not in the mood to play games with you anymore. But as far as I'm here, right now, for there's something we can't undo. The fleeing Seaborn easily tears through the ship's walls. It can smell its skin as well as the ocean just outside the strange box. It is hurt, it needs healing, it needs nourishment, it needs time. The scaleless skin had bought it a change to breathe, but far from enough time. My preparations are yet to be completed. What? A Seaborn? The Seaborn does not speak. Because it faces something that is not its kin. Not kin that speaks, not kin without scales. In which case, the small, fragile creature struggling before its eyes is just an ordinary life form. Just another part of the cycle. It should be consumed. After coming to this conclusion, Seaborn almost immediately lashes out at Irene with tooth and claw. So fast, its body is different from before. It's so tough. Merde, I can dodge it this time. Stand up and run. You can talk in Iberian? It's, you know, they're basically a pufferin. I save you. Don't let him know. Don't let Alfonso know I'm still human. Language. You also know it. Why don't you want Alfonso to know that you're still human? Wouldn't it help him a lot? Efficiency relatively low. Not enough information, not enough. Necessary, I will complete it. Ingrid, you have formed your own group. Your offspring consume one another. You are incomplete. Alfonso cannot get here fast. You run. Handwit, no point in nurturing. Flesh and blood donate to us. Still attempting to spit out vestiges of human speech, the chief mate is punctured by the Seaborn's fangs. No! It neither underestimates its enemy nor is distracted by Wayne's presence. Seaborn's motions have clearly evolved. You found so heavy. Can't even pierce its carapace. At this rate, Wayne, you know where this is. Yes, it's the Inquisition's underground. Very high Inquisitor has seen the truth. What is the truth? The truth. And so there's one thing I mean. What's the Inquisition fighting for Iberia? For Iberia's purity and virtue, for the sanctity of all laws and scriptures. Or of the concept of truth, as seen by the people, is only superficial. What if law has no reach? The scriptures fail to prophesize. The morality that governs all things amounts to naught. How will you pass down judgment then? I will just, based on my own standards. Having your own ethics and morality? No way. Even means casting aside the distinction between good and evil that you've always adhered to. Of course, that's easier said than done. Hey Olsey, thank you for the raid. How was boulder skating? Did you all skate over boulder? Hi Ladder. I hope you all had fun. I told Ladder to kiss you in the mouth. I mean, I guess if Olsey says so. I'm not sure how to totally feel about the Ladder, but I'm gonna go get pizza though now. Get a pizza. That does sound nice. We will talk about morality here now, I guess, and another country founded on lies. My favorite kind of country. That's easier said than done, I mean. There's no point trying to teach him my example. I'm not as partial towards words as you are. Maestro? But there will come a day where your enemies will force you to cast aside everything you've ever known. Your faith, your morals, your ethics. Everything will be ravaged, desecrated, rendered null and void. That happens. If you can manage to rebuild your inner faith, whatever it may be, then that will form the foundation to help you defeat those enemies. Before seeing the truth, before experiencing a crueler history, everything that we do is empty, with no basis in reality. I won't tell you how you should act going forward. But when that time comes, I want you to remember my words, I mean. You must become Iberia's last line of defense. No. Survival is not actually your goal. Perhaps you can become something greater. Man, she does look cool with her gun. Irene raises the hand cannon. I guess they are also just so... I didn't really see too much about what kind of cannons they use in Iberia. And in a sense, it's not even like that advanced considering all the other guns and rifles on Terra, right? But I guess the Inquisition just has blessed guns. A second cavity suddenly appears in the Seaborn's adamantine body as the torrential flow of heat melts through its sturdy, unusual walls. The surging temperature turns the surroundings into a sea of fire. The chief mate sobs and retreats to the side, staring blankly at the scene before its eyes. I think Inquisitor's arms are fueled by their faith. That is like peak aura. The Seaborn has never been enveloped by such arts before. It feels a sense of being overwhelmed, but quickly adapts. However, the Inquisitor's beverage will not cease until the flames of her lantern sputter out. Release the chief, mate, you monster, and get a good whiff of the center for Originum. Okay, you see, you should probably not give them Originum. You have not sinned in any way. Holy scriptures do not even mention your existence. Right now it's only I, as an Iberian, who's handing down this verdict. The scourge of the seas must be wiped out. You have no right to live. In the name of Iberia, perish. Okay, that was number 8. I do like, I mean, okay, let me go to the next map now. We are going to the ocean. ST10. Is this where we start or is this the end? Pack your backstory, this is for sure the end. Then this. I hope this is number 10. That's... I'm wrong, that's number 11. I just wish, you know, they would somehow here write which one it is. Or, you know, like, do it like the stages and just write it here. I mean, I guess this is just very cringe complaints of somebody doing the stages first before going to the story. If I would have done the story while going through the stages, I guess it would have been super easy to follow, right? The unbearable past relentlessly chases him. The unfaceable future solemnly awaits him. You wasted your chance. What? If I were you, when I caught a talking seaborn in Salviento, I would have forced it to spill everything it knew about Aegir. What was he supposed to be doing there, huh? We've been walking the land for years. Never heard Aegir's message. But the ocean is different. The ocean has never been disconnected. But did you join the Seaborn because you're upset that the Aegir basically did not help you after you killed Ishamla or something like that? Yet you simply allowed it to die without creating any value. Unproductive decision, Claudia. I don't need to hear messages from trash. The only answer they can provide are the grunts of lowly beasts. Seems you found some assistance on land, and put quite a bit of trust in them. Okay, I don't know how to call this last night. Cosmos Cemetery. You're showing mercy. Why does he still stand? I'm not. Honestly, he did nothing wrong so far, in my humble opinion. He's just a little sturdier than anticipated. The knight does not fight back. He suddenly freezes in place and forces his head back. He staggers, spins around, and looks up. Nadia had planned to seize this moment to put an end to the chase. But right as she's about to, she has a faint premonition. The Seaborn scent, it's changed. You're already sensitive enough to notice such changes then. What are you trying to say here? That's right, Claudia, you're just one of them. Join us. No matter how much you try to console yourself or others, this is a problem we'll have to deal with sooner or later ourselves. I mean, Mr. Alfonso kinda kept society for so long, and he has been like actively eating them, right? There has to be a way to hold on to your humanity. Garcia. Oh. Good, good. You heard it real bad. We'll track it down in no time by following these blood trails. Wait, what are these burn marks? What did it do to my ship? Monsters can't have left these marks behind. That's right, must be the masterwork of a lovely little Iberian bird. Oh, they grow up so fast. I do prefer this Spectre a lot more, basically old Spectre. Who's scarier, the Seaborn or her people? You mean the Iberian from before? Impossible. Any of the ship's battle-hardened sailors would have been stronger than her. How could she do this? Power of gun. Aww. Nipples on the captain's sleeves. I understand. No matter, regardless of what the Iberian did, we have to hurry. Time to put an end to this months-long hunt. You seem to be in a pretty good mood, Mr. Captain. Good mood. Huh. Who wouldn't be happy to bring an end to such a long hunt? You keep chasing, I'll go a different way. We'll cut through these walls, and we'll try to get closer to the sea. Garcia. The wounds aren't life-threatening. Just hang in there, we'll be right back. The injured chief mate still needs more time to recover. Looks at his captain's face in silence. Joy. A hard to disguise excitement. A vigor it has not felt in a long time. Takes a peaceful nap, focusing its energy on rejuvenating its injured parts, all to help its lover continue the hunt. I can beat, I swear. A brief light dream, short, trance-like, and extremely rare since its body underwent such profound changes. In its dream, it stands up in Iberia's shores. The sky booms with fireworks, it hums with the din of whistles. A high-spirited Alfonso stands at its side, asking it the question, do you want to marry me? Garcia. See those kids along the shore? We all like children. Children are the future of Iberia. Our glory, our feats, and our skills all die with us. But children, new lives. One that all of Iberia will come together to nurture, and they inherit it all. Garcia, who do you think he should take after? How can Stultifera move so fast with those injuries? I can keep up. And holding back from firing my hand cannons is... Another sea planter spread to the ship? But how? Wasn't this better a little while ago? Fluorescent another sea planters devoured the golden Iberian hall. The intrusive dome reflects a ghastly blue light. Amidst the closed stands a lone, out-of-place woman. The two hands are crossed in front of her as she silently and carefully sizes up the phone in front of her. The rosy plant spreads from beneath her feet, sapping the very color from the golden floor. So that's why she was here, to just take over the ship with the plant. She turns her head, eyes hold nothing but compassion and expectation. Good evening, Irene. The Church of the Deep Cultist. Did I miss? No, there's no way. Original Marts? That's right, I mean. Dario could see you now. I'm sure he'd be so proud. How do you know our names? Who are you? I'm a translator. I think you're a bit more of that. You're a bishop too. You think a lie like that will do you any good? I never lie, Irene. I just speak in half-truths. Translate a great many words. Perhaps one of my novels full of gaulish critical realism on your shelves contains my touch. If you ever even noted the name of the translator, I guess most of the time you don't pay attention to that, no. I guess the only time you really note the name of the translator is like, probably more like old historical books and stuff like that, where there's like multiple different translations and interpretations, right? Like I know, for example, for something like the Odyssey, there's like multiple translations, and then you would also name the translator and stuff like that. But otherwise, who the fuck cares? Look at your feet. You're the one who poured another sea plant. That's a somewhat biased statement. I did not bring the plant. Rather, I established a bond with the fluorescent sea. I just invited it over, okay? Truly, it's an honor to be part of it. How did you get to the ship? It doesn't matter, I mean. It doesn't matter whether you can defeat the Seaborn, whether I die here, or whether the ship will be key to reconnecting with Aegir. None of that matters. And yes, the sacrifices of Dario and the Planet Battalion, and Pharaoh's collapse, die for Iberia, a long, long time that has passed. The vast process of evolutionary transformation, all of these are but drops of water in the sea of life. My respect comes from the fact that we are all but a part of the cycle. Compared to the whole, we are all insignificant. Wait, you mentioned the High Inquisitor. What happened to him? As poor Irene. Look, I know the feeling of having questions and needing answers. But is this really the time? She just really cares about her mentor, okay? When the enemy stands right before you. What happened to him? The sacrifice was in vain, Irene. Okay, I guess in a sense, you don't know if she's lying though. Sea priest brought me news of his death. With my condolences. Impossible! That can't be! Nothing is impossible, Irene. When the Oracle descended, all the futures of this land were set in stone. There are bugs crawling along the ground. You know, there's nothing wrong with being bugs, you know? You ought to follow the ordained path. What's wrong with choosing a life without barriers, without separation, without country and without form? If you choose to cease resisting, all the better. If not... If none of this really matters, Amaya, then why are you buying time for a wounded little prey? Oh. You're fucking up, Laurentina. Not completely, but I can at least remember your name. Hope I'm not coming across as rude. Irene. What did you do to her? Nothing. You're only making small talk. Skadi, continue the chase. Wasn't it your prey? Who was it that let me run into such a nostalgic figure? Alright, be careful. Irene? You're lying. The breath of the sea does not lie. No, like I said, that's impossible. The Inquisitor's death must have had a purpose. The Inquisition never makes sacrifices in vain. If you don't believe that, cultist, I'll just have to become that purpose. So be it. What a silent child you are. Hunter, let's go. Oh my dear little Irene, if we can just learn to control the powerful precision hand cannon. Is this how you display it? If you continue trying to burn the Netherseep plant in such a crude manner, Captain Alfonso will be furious, no? I mean, he will also be furious just seeing the plant. No matter. You're going to just let them walk away? As, unlike Quintus, I'm not in such a hurry. Why would I want to face 2 hunters at once and cut my life even shorter? Is there a difference between a moment and an instant? There isn't, but seeing you revert to your old temperament sure brings me back, Laurentina. After all, you were in a coma until the first experiment began. How have you been since you left us? Spectre's lip curled into a subtle smile. It's the most beautiful smile she's shown tonight. It's getting faster. I've already put 2 more holes in it. Just how much blood can it have in there? 2? How did you... Tell you later. Don't think my summer's going to last much longer. Whoop. It's been cannibalizing its own kind this whole time? No wonder. It's gonna super evolve. It's gonna level up. Watch out, it's coming to us. Ishamla. Where is he? Answer, I wish to know. You monster. Who is he though? I guess whatever like Ulpini saw in the depths. Before Irene can fire a hand cannon, the Seaborn lurches forward. As the wall cracks audibly, Scarlet leaps back with tremendous force, before closing the gap between her and the Seaborn almost instantly. Her lethal spikes once again bite down on thin air. What? None of her hits landed? Insufficient. Nutrients, time, all insufficient. Ishamla. Require answers, but I can feel his presence. With words we shall implore. Ishamla. If he does not answer, it does not mean he is not there. Even if he is not there, does not mean that our kind has lost its way. Our kind has found its way. We'll seize our own fate. Survival, the primary goal. All of you love rambling on while trying to kill us. Don't overthink this and don't plan on returning to the ocean either. Insufficient. Far from enough. Soon. Cover your ears, I mean. Rocinante. I still love the source. It's beautiful. The waves are coming. We wait for them. We will wait outside. With weapons, we tear them. Let us go. Thanks for your help, I think. The seabird's murmurs can be heard from afar. Claudia frowns slightly. For an ordinary landwalker to recklessly make contact with the ocean and win internal madness is certainly conceivable. But what of the other seaborn that obeyed him? But Claudia does not think about it too deeply. I guess I never considered, but yeah, I guess the horse is a seaborn. Well, maybe he can start his own Knight's Order one day. Of course, an oscillating premonition is gnawing at her nerves. I wonder if the last knight will ever be playable or something like that, like as an operator, or what they're gonna do with him. Last night with no horses operator. Yeah, that would be cool. Would be... It would at least be interesting. I'm not quite sure what mechanics they actually can do with the horse. I guess you could have the horse as a summon, right? But... It makes her neck itch. What's happening up there? The ship has been adrift at sea for more than 60 years. If they'd wanted to do away with it, or even simply treated it and its crew as enemies, the Stultifera navis would have sunk long ago. I mean, it was meant by Seaborn? Instead, they're assimilating it. They've treated the ship as part of the environment. For whatever reason, must have allowed it to survive in their waters. But now the station has changed. You mean? An LSC plant. Since when? And how did it spread this quickly? The ship will most certainly sink. Claudia? Have you ever considered why an Aegias talentless Preogan chose in his final hour to sign the key the way he did? I should have unlocked the secrets Aegias long dreamed of. It's quintessence of his life's work. So I sussed anyone's blood enough to activate it. Why would he let it fall into the hands of a frail knight? We did silence that thing, but they probably don't need any gods at all. Only humanity, the impotence and hypocrisy would fold their hands together and pray to the ocean, finding far too much solace within it. We need to make use of what little time we have, Claudia. And then do it. You're still thinking about the incident with Iago? Not quite. All the tragedies I've endured, this is hardly worth mentioning. I guess he has been in this business for hundreds of years. Nothing more than a grain of sand on the beach. But how much sand does this beach require? The ship wasn't in port by the panel battalion. Most of the town's vessels were brought under their supervision, and the few that weren't, forgotten, stranded along the shore. And we saved quite a bit of time thanks to someone's carelessness. Can't help but think of how much more will be forgotten. What else will be stranded? And that's what civilization's there for, you know, to keep a record. Calcite, if the Land of Terror were a ship, what kind of vessel do you think it would be? I mean, you already said it's a ship, no? You're almost at the Eye of Iberia. She has dodged the question successfully, that we are. But what if we make like an arc, and then we could be the Knights of the Ark. The Ark Knights, if you will. I said the line. This should be next. Let me double check before I make a mistake. Yep. How should one sort one's thoughts when uniting with a mortal enemy after a long absence? Share dance. Yep, just have a nice fight. Do you remember we first met, Valentina? Badly injured, you lay across the rocks of that snow-like beach, as if you were some kind of sleeping beauty. After drifting along the currents for so long, suddenly awoken by some truly rancid land dwellers, I wished I could have slept forever. How could it be? When remembering properly, we made quite a good first impression on each, didn't we? That I won't deny, otherwise you would have ended up like Quintus, chopped into itty-bitty pieces. Speaking of, what a damn shame we couldn't have... I felt like the spec at Sorrento, or I felt like the spec in Sorrento. I could have feminist with him so much more vigorously. Amaya maintains her elegant posture, but let us see blind spots as far as she can see. But Laurentina does not take her seriously in the slightest. What is she looking at? Maybe Kari seems to have gone well. Thanks to you. What about the other one? How's he doing? Who knows? Maybe he ended up like Quintus and perished at the hands of a hunter. Or we will see him at the path of life. Which one? It was just idle chatter. Original arts, too. Just anything on land that can pose a threat to a hunter. Probably those so-called arts. But you don't seem very well versed in fighting with arts either. Aren't you a bit too pathetic? You're a bit too weak for this. Laurentina. Have you never wondered why your consciousness sometimes gears up and sometimes blurs? Or how you can even function after being injected with such a concentrated dose of refined liquid originum? Isn't that because I'm bent? I just cannot take this serious. Nah, I'm built different. Isn't it because I'm built different? Or has it told me about your dance lessons? Ah, damn it. I can't believe you told me before I got to remember it myself. Fine, there were dance lessons. What else did I tell you about, Amaya? Stop changing the subject, Laurentina. We are just conversing, no? No? Or are you saying you know exactly how you woke up? We've done many experiments on you, my sleeping beauty. For the longest time, we could only understand the ocean through the knowledge of the islanders. And then, a perfect organism appeared right in front of us. Our methods were primitive at best. If we donned the trappings of the church, we could not hide our blemishes as land-dwelling creatures. The case of us facing the sea were few and far between. The new life forms were seldom stable. You still remember the huge ruckus you made right after waking up? The first conversation we had after that. I asked, how did the Aegir manage to do it? Amaya dodged the specter's attack. She gently caresses her neck. The glow of the golden hall seems to bleach her skin a ghostly pale. You hold a massive amount of refined liquid originum. Right there. It being liquid originum, is it spent originum like I forgot the name, like, what's basically like the water in the third arc, or how does it actually work? If an ordinary person had a spinal fluid replaced with such a concentration of liquefied originum, wouldn't be merely comatose. No, two ways about it. I really ought to thank you. After all, you allowed me to experience a completely different life. Do you know how many Aegirs had their futures forcibly wrenched from them because of the drench-sucking scum you worship? And what would you originally have been then? Opera singer? A playwright? As if, of course not. I wanted to be a sculptor. My teacher said I had the talent for it. When I was little, the city I lived in had a massive snow-white statue. It collapsed during the Seaborn's invasion. Nah, that'd be too cliché. Never even seen it broken. Moved it to a different city before long. But that statue has always remained in my head. I never forgot what it looked like. And then, thanks to you guys, I understand the allegory of that statue alternating between black and white amidst the shadows. There. I continue my studies in Aegir. Might have never learned the more nuanced meaning of that word. You can stop stalling for time now. I know your arts are related to perception. I've seen them. Think of it this way. Not some real weirdos aboard Void's Island. I've done some rather unbecoming things, but never mind. I'm sure they'll forgive me. Is that the name of a ship? Much better ship than this one. We have a very cool ship. You cannot just compare, that is true. Anyway, your passengers are all dead or injured, and your nether sea friend can do anything but eat away at this pompous hall. What's next? Next is we're summoning the Great Old One. Need help writing a suicide note? You don't get to see authentic Egerian calligraphy every day, you know? Well done, Laurentina. Maya extends her hand to Spectre. Her slender palms are covered in the nether sea plant, as she's wearing faintly luminescent formal dress clothes. Wouldn't that just suck out all the life of her or something? Spectre does not reject her, but grips her weapon tightly with one hand, while holding Maya's in the other. The two of them step delicately across the golden hall, and then they kissed. Actually, I wasn't much of a dancer when I was young. The captain taught me a few times, much later. He's a better dancer than you. You know what keeps your apathy in check. You also know why it's easier to wake up from your affliction the closer you are to the sea. Other hunters, particularly Claudia, must have guessed it long ago. But she's always been reluctant to admit the truth to herself. It would not be simpler, yet it is so cruel. Isn't it because I've returned home? I'm smitten by the scenery? It is the Seaborn plot, I guess, right? Never realized how much you loved self-deprecating humor. But you're not wrong. Returning home, returning to the sea. It's all because the blood flows within you. The Seaborn part of you is holding back the originum. The Seaborn part of you is what wakes you up when you return to the ocean. So this awakened you as you are now. Are you Seaborn or Abyssal Hunter? Watch your step. Thank you. Oh, cute. You aren't expecting to shake me, are you? Like how Skadi got lectured by that talking scum back in Salviento. You're not shaken, even though you recognize that your strength, your sanity, and your soul all come from your enemies? No one can remain unperturbed in the face of this truth. I think it's probably harder for Skadi to accept to have like fucking elder god in your body or something like that. I think, you know, just accepting that you have the blood is probably easier. Overall, I feel like the Abyssal Hunters do grab onto humanity still pretty well. I haven't finished my story yet. Do you know why I love sculpting? Because during the process of carving, chiseling and shaping, Spectre pauses her footsteps. Maya is caught by surprise for a moment. Spectre releases her hand as her other is already bearing her weapon down. At that moment, her expression glistens with a childlike glee. You give meaning to the forms of the dead, liberating them from the void of meaninglessness. That's like my lovely destiny. Right. Time to make pizza. Gee, there's no end to this trash. What do we do? How are we going to catch up to it? Where's it going? The retreat to the ocean men heard. We don't often hunt them on dry land. But the CTRs managed to breach the hull. But even the cannons of high-speed battleship shouldn't be enough to damage this Stultifera navis. They've had years. Must have chipped through it long ago. They trapped the ship, but they didn't sink it? Why? We can ponder this all we like, but regardless of what miracles it took, the plan fast or the ship really is going to sink. A plan, huh? That I do have. Quickly, take out the enemy. They should retreat back to their nest. Is it really that easy? If not, then we make it so. It's setting up. Hurry. We can't let it reach the ocean. But the terrors are practically clocking the entire corridor. Can you still jump? What? The roof's been corroded by the nether sea and it's very fragile. We'll take a shortcut. is... There you are, my quarry. You prey on blood relatives, prey on kin. You have eaten many. I mean, you Seaborn also do that. I guess more willingly, but still. Well, no shit. You think you can live off the wind? You consume is the fourth point. Food is plenty. You will consume me? You're inviting me. Because information from afar cannot pass to kin. Language you do not understand. Appreciation of air, utterance of sound. Understanding of foods, learning of language. This is why I hate those damn Aegirs. Look, even the monsters are learning Aegirian now. Don't think I'll show you any mercy just because you learned how to talk, scumbag. You consume me, I consume you. But at least maybe you should consider they're not just animals, I guess. Feeding has continued for too long, must be ended. How quickly time flies, you little runt. All this time I've watched you grow up. You think you're the predator? And nothing more than my domesticated beast. Alphonsus blade digs into the Seaborn's body. A sharp fang scratches his arm. Blood splatters through the air. The atmosphere intensifies. Seaborn's movements are becoming faster. And my last change of clothes. Out to skin you alive. Maybe you can ask the hunters for something. Over here. Isha. Ishamla. You will consume. Shut up. You didn't need a bladder on to kill your prey. We just do our job. Stop it before it jumps into the sea. Think you can run? The Seaborn continues to increase its speed, appearing to leave an afterimage of itself in place. It slides and bounds in an instant, is already on the opposite side of the deck. Barely touching the ground, it dives straight into the ocean. But something else is even faster than it. A black shadow cuts off its retreat and smashes it to the floor. There, away from the light, something sears a mark onto the deck, causing an entire ship to shudder. My, you're the same type of thing as Quintus, aren't you? Not half of your body would have been sent flying, not just a little scratch like that. Next up is... Wait, what's this? The sand. You felt it, of course. Hi, Musty. How are you doing? Did you win all the Stronghold protocols? But yeah, I must say, I'm not sure how I felt about like the first half of this storyline. I mean, I still enjoyed it back then, but it felt like very close to basically the Olympus collapse story. But now it's even more boring. But yeah, all of this is pretty good. It's so much better than Undertides. I think I lost one probably. It's still pretty good. I mean, anytime I show up, you kinda defeat the like hidden core. And I don't think it's because of me. It is because your viewers are good at maybe. Nefaldet, of course he's no longer concealing himself, which means he has proven what he wished to prove. He has said what he wished to say. Alas, I thought he'd be able to understand. You do have around 70% win rate on Dire. I mean, that is pretty good still, right? That's really funny. I know. Understand what? But no, you are good at video games too. If the sand belongs to his master, rather than something else that's turned into a Seaborn, I suggest giving up on him ever understanding. Based on what I've seen of your shallow experiences and moral judgments, the idea of trustworthy Aegis usually just where stands out most. What the hell happened to my... Can I reload this? Okay. I I don't know what my fucking pause was doing, but like my stream manager on Twitch was like, you know, access denied now. I'm still me. Thank you, Twitch. I think. I think my internet is fine. It didn't top it. I don't know how this happened. Anyways, Opinions has made his move. In that case, I can't waste any more time if there's no more point in stalling. I must find the Herald. I must welcome it. Leaving so soon? I thought we were just getting started. Yeah, we started dancing. Come on. You need to finish it. Maybe next time, Laurentina. If we ever meet again, let's have another chat about Aegir. Skadi doesn't blink. She could be more familiar with these movements. Simple, straightforward, a force of nature. She remembers how her colleagues at Woods Island assessed her, as well as how she assessed the two in front of her, back when she first saw them. However, you were all chosen, deemed worthy by Aegir. Under my command, should have been prodigies of exacting violence, your hunting genes complementing your skills. But you've requested, Skadi. You're... It's not that yet, Alpinus. Don't be in such a rush to patronize Skadi. I'm aware. Take heed again, Skadi. Just like before, I'll only teach you once. Alpinus swings his weapon. The strike is straightforward and without excess. It's sufficiently swift, such that the Seaborn cannot avoid it despite its wishes. Afterwards, an enormous rumbling sound proves that the strike was also sufficiently strong. By the time the Seaborn is miserably thrown against a turret that's never been fired, its body had already been considerably cut down in size. Like so. Just its movements, make a decision, swing your weapon, aim to kill. This is how you fight them. You're slower than before and more cautious. A life on land has been no small influence on you. I never thought, but how did you survive? What you died, but you and Swordfish, how did you two survive? What about the others then? The first company and the fourth company, did they... By my standards, my survival was a tragedy. The Seaborn told me that the others could not be allowed to live on. They would not have overlooked anything in their nest. Of course, based on Claudia's usual attitude, by her standards, this was also a disgrace. Finish it off first. As for the situation, we can't wait for all the hunters to arrive. You, in this drive-loading vessel, on this ship, hunt. You left our kind. Death does not benefit our kind. Your death also does not benefit our kind. You. Sorry, I don't think we're really here for diplomacy. What kind of hunter talks before his squaw is dead? That's the first lesson we teach in field training. I seem to always be cleaning up after the messes of your Aegirs. What is it you want? What do you need with my ship? Look what you did to Iberia and to Victoria. Letting monsters overrun Ursus. It's not really their fault. Stubborn bastard. Also, how are the monsters in Ursus? Is someone serious? Maybe I should look at the world map at some point again. Run it through. Now, Alfonso. Take this. Is it over? I can't feel my hand. Look out, beneath you. What? It's not dead yet. It's evolving. Finally, my Pokemon leveled up. I chipped through the deck, trying to jump onto the chopping block yourself, you sack of meat. No, not quite. After it, we didn't chase it back into the cabin. There's still more of its skin on the ship. It's looking for her. No. I guess it's gonna eat the bishop and then... Herald. Scaleless kin. Wounds can't be healed. No way to nourish our kind. They all attack. Attack, but not to hunt. Mia simply listens quietly. The wound Spectre left on her slender body continues to bleed, tipping into the pool of blood already shed by the Seaborn and mixing into one. Nice smoothie! Maya simply listens quietly. You also hurt. You consume me. Or she is eating it. Kin, you live. Our kind will continue and survive. The Seaborn bows its body, lowering itself at Amaya's feet. It closes its eyes and awaits death. Amaya continues to listen quietly. Dedication, sacrifice. These sorts of unrequited altruism are respected by humans and considered virtues. Aegir. I've never seen that country myself. Maybe it's time for a nice holiday trip. A vast, vast country larger than Iberia, Victoria, or Ursus. Isn't Ursus like one of the biggest countries? Or perhaps all three combined. Jesus. I've heard that the Aegir are rationalists. But how rational can they be compared to the rationality of our kin? Listen to me, Herald. There's nothing noble about sacrifice, and dedication is not necessarily a virtue. Virtue? Noble? You do not need to understand what sacrifice or dedication are. Only the Medicore would presume that the Seaborn becoming closer to humanity is any form of illusion. Yeah, it's time to return to Crab instead. No. This is merely an increased tolerance to allow for more possibilities. When we praise those who selflessly serve their kin, all that means is that so many more have chosen to do otherwise. Even young gloom pincers will die in the chores of the natural predators to protect their kind. Why do we feel a need to repeatedly extol such a virtue? Humans only sing the praise of what's bare, using morality to whitewash altruism, all in an attempt to justify the utilitarian hearts, deeming themselves more noble than beasts. Such ridiculous self-aggrandizement. It's clear that the cracks between nations and races are tearing this land asunder. But didn't even like the Seaborn have different tribes and everything? Life has never been without order, my herald. This is the final answer I sought for, which I left in the land and entered the sea. Now a snag on it. The Seaborn closes its eyes. It is contemplating the words of Amaya, the words of kin. It does not understand, but it can say so it does not need to understand, or need to do. Next moment, it feels its scaleless kin place a hand up in its body. Its kin says, I ask of you, remember me, set me free, and sue me. Amaya! No, the sand is still here. Couldn't have gotten far. Cut through the walls corroded by the nether sea brand, return to the ocean. That's not all. Something happened here. Its blood trails disappeared. You, also here, I'll go after it myself. Why would hunters be afraid to return to the ocean? This is a disgrace. Why, is Alpina scared that they would turn? Then stew into disgrace, Gladia. We should tread carefully. Alone will be enough to handle this. If you want to be careful, shouldn't you just not split up? I'll go with you. To monitor me. Maintain discipline. As you please, but surely you can feel it too. More Seaborn are approaching. This place may be closer to shore, but it's already become the heart of the ocean. Right, that's what the night is for too. Soon, soon, the grand domain. Very soon. The storm is tearing the sky open. The terrible waves, they come, they will come. We shall watch, we shall wait. We shall meet the terrible waves. He is hype. Well, I guess it's probably a good point to stop. Okay, narratively probably not the best. How much do those stages have? Right? Oh, this does not have a story at all. Fuck me. Alright, it's still too much and too long since it's this and then have also this. I probably can finish it tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll like do some Slay the Spire. And it's probably not gonna be for like 4 hours, what I assume. So after we Slay the Spire, I can maybe finish the side story. That would be a good plan. But yeah, thanks for watching then. I know a bunch of my friends have been streaming today. I hope this loads. Why is it not loading, man? It's time for me to stall. But yeah, I think we can still finish this basically this week, which is what I really would want to finish. Why is my Twitch not loading at all? Okay, now I think you might have heard me, which is like even more cringe. I think Ali is streaming. If I get to wait him, that is my goal. But yeah, like I said, I still really appreciate everyone coming here. I really enjoy the side story. I think I started the wait. That's good, that's good. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope not. Wait a second, I feel like everything is breaking for me on Twitch. Which is not good. After we finish the side story, I will do Path of Life next. But China's offline? What do you mean China's offline? It's social media, his stream. What is... What the hell? Why is my... I guess I wait it out and see what happens. I fucking love the internet. It might be German problems. It might all be German problems. In 30 seconds I know what will happen. Like it shows me his stream in the fucking stream preview, so I don't know why Twitch is telling me that he's offline. I don't get it. I guess I waited or something, so bye-bye.